Caps made a habit of goals like these, but for Whitfield, it was never one of its kind and a keepsake forever. With the downtrodden Rangers trampled, the Caps convened Senate hearings today with the distinguished Mr. Alexei Yashin and the Honorable Daniel Alfredson providing a much more worthy adversary. The last Capital City clash was a draw and a netminders duel. Patrick Lalime and Ole calls it go again in hand-to-hand combat. Next on HTS. HTS presents the National Hockey League. This afternoon, you've chosen wisely. We have live coverage from MCI Center. Two of the very best in the NHL East square off. It's the Ottawa Senators and the Washington Capitals. Up until last night, Alexei Yashin was on a white-hot roll. He'd like to resume his scoring ways, but his opposite number 19, Brendan Witt, has big plans for a block party, blocking everything that comes his way from north of the border. A very pleasant good afternoon to you alongside Craig Lachlan. I'm Joe Beninati. Well, Dr. Lachlan, the Mad Hatter was at it again for Washington Friday night. Just when it seemed like the game was slipping away for the Capitals in the Rangers' favor, Peter Bondra showed us all the very best elements to his game.
Well, his elements are obviously goal scoring. Peter Bondra, one of the best goal scorers in the NHL. He recorded his 17th hat trick in Capitals franchise history against the New York Rangers, and it's a key for Peter Bondra to continue shooting the puck a ton. We'll take a look at his first goal, and it's just a bomb. He's going to shank the first shot, Joe. Here he gets it, shanks it. Then Adam Oates is going to collect and find him right in the slot. And how about that, Howitzer, top shelf. But he wasn't done there. 3 consecutive goals for Bondra. Here on the crisscross with Adam Oates, and look at the speed to go around Brian Leetch. You have to be a great skater to accelerate like that. He got 2 whacks at the puck. Into the net it goes. And then one more big slap shot pass. Leetch and the netminder, Peter Bondra, now has reached the 40-goal plateau. And his 40 goals now third best in the NHL. His fourth 40-plus goal season. His 19 power play goals, one away from the club record of 20 set by Denny Marouk back in the early 80s. So tonight and this afternoon, Joe, he'll be looking to be firing against this Ottawa team. His slap shot has to be a factor against Lalime in net for Ottawa.
With Peter the driving force, the Washington Capitals have shown a fondness all of a sudden for winning high-scoring games. And over the last few years, that's rarely been their M.O.
And especially the start this season, their first 24 games when they had allowed 3 goals, they were, you take a look, 14 games below 500. And last season, you see there, they were 12 below 500. But the last 11 games, they've lost just 1 time in 11 tries when allowing 3 or more goals. That shows you this Capitals team. If they want to play tough defense, they can. If you want to open it up, the Washington Capitals have the firepower to deal with a team like the Ottawa Senators here this afternoon.
That said, though, Craig, I think the Washington Capitals would still rather play it close to the vest against the turbocharged Senators. Their loss on home ice to the Rangers last night had to be an aberration, to say the least.
Yeah, it's a rare loss on home ice. They're one of the best home ice teams in the National Hockey League. The Rangers came in loosey-goosey, and Havlick gives the Ottawa Senators a 2-1 lead in the second. Nice, nifty move. It's going to be great to take a look at this kit today. But then it was Nedved and McCarthy hooking up in a minute and 12. Here's the shot, top shelf. No chance for Mike Fountain. And then this is a weakie in my books, a softie as he gets the pass rink wide. McCarthy throws it along the ice through the pads. Fountain loses his game. And Guy Bear, the game winner for the Rangers. The Capitals and the Ottawa Senators, one of the best teams since December 1st of this year. The Capitals with 63 points. The Ottawa Senators with 59. Of the Capitals' 63 points, 29 of those have come through wins. 58 of the 63 points. So the Capitals are going to have their game ready this afternoon to beat this Ottawa Senators team.
Those numbers right there would lead you to believe Caps and Senators would be one whale of an NHL playoff match. For now, they'll conclude their regular season get-togethers for you in just a few moments. It will all unfold from MCI Center here on HTS. HTS coverage of Caps hockey this afternoon is being brought to you by Bud Light, the proud supporter of the NHL. By Lowe's Home Improvement Warehouse, Lowe's improving home improvement. By Verizon Online DSL, get the web in real time. by Geico Direct, the sensible alternative, and by Volvo. Visit your local Volvo retailer to test drive Volvo's exciting new line of 2001 models. Senators should enjoy Washington, D.C., but it's been the Caps who've enjoyed many a great day against them here at home, striking first and often. And since it's March Madness time, the home team could use a friendly roll, too, next on HDS.
You can shake an apple off an apple tree. Shake, shake, sugar, but you never shake me. I'm gonna stick like glue. Stick because I'm stuck on you.
The Mercedes-Benz E-Class, available with 4MATIC all-wheel drive. Whatever the weather, these babies stick.
I'm gonna stick like glue. Stick because I'm stuck on you. Wow! Uh-huh.
Do you know the secret to e-success? How do you get your products and services out on time? We can help. Dimension Data, one step beyond.
You remember Jared from Subway? Turns out he's inspired a lot of people.
He's still looking good. He'll show you the way. His name is Jared, and he'll lead you to Subway. That's where it goes, along with the rest. For 7 sandwiches with 6 grams of fat or less.
What an inspiration. Subway. Eat fresh.
Saturday and Sunday, you can save 40% and more on the retail value of every piece of furniture Marlowe sells. 40% and more on every bedroom. 40% and more on every living room. 40% and more on every dining room. 40% and more on the largest, most exciting furniture selection in town. On now, but only until 11 p.m. Monday. Don't miss out. Marlowe, Washington's only furniture superstore.
A late afternoon matinee for you on HTS. From MCI Center, a raucous crowd ready for the Washington Capitals and the Ottawa Senators. The on-ice officials today, the referees Kerry Fraser, Dave Jackson, the linesmen Pierre Rasico and Stefan Provo. Yashin and Halpern on the opening draw. We're underway, so glad you've tuned in. Joe Beninati, Al Koken, and a rested and refreshed Craig Laughlin.
Not yet. It's going to take a while to recover.
I was wondering why there was an IV bag dripping from your arm. After the alumni festivities, my partner back in his trusty seat, we look at regular season NHL play in the year 2000-2001. The rubber game, if you will, between the Caps and Senators, as the puck has been played with a high stick. 31 seconds into the scoreless first. Ron Wilson's troops 1-1 and 1 tie against the Senators this season. Craig Laughlin, who are the netminders?
Well, it's a nice matchup this afternoon. Patrick O'Lean gets the start. He took the night off last night. Fountain Blade, 29 wins, 16 losses, and 4 ties. That's a club record for wins in a season for Little Eam. And Olaf Kolzig, obviously 34 wins now, moving up in the wins plateau, trying to catch Patrick Roy, and he's won 9 of his last 12 starts. This guy has been red hot and will get the bulk of the work down the stretch for this Capitals club.
62 starts for Ole, 50 starts for Lalime as the Senators are whistled offsides. Magnus Arvidsson, to be specific. The break gives us a chance to drop in our Coleman Toyota. Keys to the game.
Well, when you look at these hockey clubs, they're both right up there. For the Ottawa Senators, they've got to blanket Bondra, and they've got to make sure he's covered and in check, and they've got to hit the gas. They've got to use their speed. It's one of the fastest teams in the league. The Caps have to clip the young wings. I'm talking about Hossa, Havlat, and Secure for sure. They cannot afford breakdowns against this team like we saw against the New York Rangers the other night. This team is far more potent and have some real running gunners up front.
Peter Bondra has room down the wing, lets it fly, and a stick save for Patrick Lalime. Daniel Alfredsson on ice for the Senators, along with Magnus Arvidsson and Radek Buck. Chris Phillips on the dump in. Sergei Gonchar retreats. Pounded by Havlat. James Black nudged against the boards by Hossa. Off the reversal, Joe Ricci has some time. He'll propel it the full length of the rink. In full sprint there, Ricard Pearson. He'll make the touch. This is icing against Washington.
Well, we had a special ceremony prior to the game to kick off this hockey game. There's 3 captains, great ones in their old right, LeBray, Hunter, and Rod Langway. All the 3 guys that are retired here, and their pictures and numbers hang at MCI. You'll see Alfredson and Adam Oates come into the picture for the ceremonial puck jockey. Gotta love this, Joe. The way these guys came back. It was great to see Ivan out on the ice, Dale Hunter, Rod Langway, and there's those mugs. I tell you what, Langway does look a lot better up there than he does in person.
Borrowing from great literature and the Dead Poets Society. Captain, my captain. Plenty of captains right there. Oates to the corner. Boulis matched up there with Sammy Salo. Along the wall, Hossa trying to spirit it free. Richard Zednik out there along with Boulis and Oates. If you're just tuning in, we move to the 3rd minute of the first period. Hossa, an excellent skater, streaking down the flank, trying to turn on Zettler. Zettler made the defensive play. Counter-attacking, caps with an odd man rush potential. Boulis closing, grabs it, rips up the pipe. Richard Zednik had that one rung up. He hit the goal post. Boulis fires. Lalime makes the save and the cover. And the faithful at MCI Center practically drawn out of their seats again by 44 White.
And that was a great counter by the Washington Capitals. Zednik 7 points in his last 5 games. And it all starts with Adam Oates, who makes wonderful passes, which springs out the Capitals on a 2-on-1. Here's Oates dropping it. The D goes to him. Booley slides it across. And there it is. Right where you want to put it is top corner. They're a little bit too fine off the crossbar and out the other side. The goaltender's best friend goes to work for Ottawa.
And right off the draw, as we get another look at the pipe, right off the draw, Lalime made a shoulder stop on a Gonchar BB. 0-0. 2 minutes, 40 seconds in. Whitfield threatening. Back come the Senators. Frank Fisher, a long blast. Ole Kolzig to a need to deny. Through center, Sackler's onside. Behind the field, walking in. Score! Joe Sacco.
Joe Sacco, his 6th goal of the season. I love that poster, by the way. Who let the Caps out? And Joe Sacco's got to admire that nifty stick work. A lucky bounce for the Washington Capitals, and they had their counter going. Sacco was behind all the Ottawa defense. There it is. Kolzig should get an assist, as should Ricci. And here's the play by Sacco sneaking in. And there's a wonderful backhand that beats Lalime. That should reach Sacco from Ricci and Ole Kolzig.
Just what the doctor ordered for the Caps against the team that played last night on its own ice sheet in a losing effort. The Senators dropped the 3-2-1 to the New York Rangers. Washington buzzing right from the get-go. Brendan Witt plays it back behind the cage. Konowalchuk round and round. Jason York on it for the Ottawa Senators in their road black. This is their alternate third sweater. McEachern placing it into the corner. Yashin there with Brendan Witt. Konowalchuk for Washington. On the flank to Kallio Hudson. Washington in the middle of a shift change. Salo has a very hard shot. Kolzig made the stop, and it actually got trapped in his equipment. Salo has a thunderous shot. I was watching him, Craig, in warm-up. Wow, can he bring it?
And that's why they're so happy to have him back in the lineup. He missed 38 games over 3 months as we look at the goal scorer up close and personal. One more look at the Sacco Deke. Pretty nifty right there. You could see Lalime going to the butterfly, trying to flop that left leg down to catch the puck, but he had enough velocity to scoop it by his left outstretched legs, giving the Capitals here in the first an early lead.
Eric Lacroix back behind the Washington net. Lacroix shoulder to shoulder with Sylvain Cote. Bonk, Lacroix, Alfredson out there. Wraparound chance for Lacroix, and Kolzig sealing the lower portion of the net.
Well, that was a good deal for the Senators when they got Lacroix. They had to deal disgruntled forward Colin Forbes, who played for the Rangers the other night. But I think Lacroix is a tougher guy, and they need some tough players if they're going to make a run for it in this playoffs. Doesn't get a whole lot of points, but I tell you what, he's got a lot of heart and a lot of desire. There's a little wraparound. A lot of people thought he might have been heading to Colorado. He is best of buddies with Rob Blake, Joe. In fact, he was his best man.
I see. 1-0 for Washington. Joe Sacco on a breakaway tally at the 2:52 mark. Rakunin didn't get it out with an assist there. Black trundles one wide of the cage. Zettler pinching down from his point position. Rakunin rocked by Black. Alfredson, he didn't get it out. Nicolini, Mondra, Black on ice for head coach Ron Wilson. Black turning the corner, fanned on a centering feed. Wade Redden over skates. Redden in the stick duel there with Bondra. Black back behind the cage. Bondra pedals off to the corner. Alfredson charging back through center. Shots on goal, even at 5 in the first 5 minutes. It's 1-0 Washington. Zettler marked by Zamner. Nicolini ran right into the youngster Havlat. Havlat, Zamner on ice along with Hossa. Kolzig will look to his right. Richard Zednik wrapped up there by Hossa. Good forechecking persists for the Senators. Zamner was crunched along the end boards. York to the corner once again. Hossa up high on Zettler. Washington still not able to get it out just yet. Nicolini should lasso through center. That forced the turnover. Phillips indirectly on for Havlat. He didn't get the handle cleanly. Zednik to Bulis, charging down that wing. Over to play him, former #1 overall draft choice Phillips. He was spilled by Bulis, and Ottawa is about to get a power play, courtesy of referee Kerry Fraser.
Well, Bulis trying to forecheck aggressively. Unfortunately for Booley, he got the stick caught under the foot of the defenseman and hauled him down. So Kerry Fraser giving the signal. Here's the play by the D. There's the stick connecting the back of the leg of the defenseman. And so off goes Jan Bulis. Good speed exhibited there by Chris Phillips, who tried to get a leg up. And you see how he sort of poked him in the back of the leg. That knocks you off balance at 5:51. Bulis will sit.
The Ottawa Senators power play on the road just over 15% effective. There's their efficiency overall this season, 16th best in the 30-team NHL. We are just past the 6-minute mark of the opening period with Washington in the lead by 1. Sacco from Riki at 2:52. To this point, Oleg Kolzig has not yet been credited with his third assist of the season. Behind the play, referee Jackson has a call.
Yeah,
this one's going to be roughing?
Yes, it is, and it may go against the Caps, Kallio, or it could be both of them, but I think it's going to be Calle Johansson heading off, which will make it a 5-on-3.
Remember, Craig, I always do when I see Johansson and McEachern do a corner. There's past history between those two. They are not necessarily the best of friends.
Or we think back, I think it was during the playoffs, wasn't it? Or again, when he played for Pittsburgh, he two-handed him and he got foot palsy in the back of the leg. So they're not exactly best of buds.
Correct. Calle Johansson.
Wow.
Given the 2-minute minor for roughing. And the Ottawa Senators with an early 5-on-3 manpower advantage. And this will be a lengthy one, too. Ron Wilson's club has to endure at least 1 minute and 38 seconds of the 5-on-3.
Calle Johansson only his 20th penalty minute. It's not like he goes out there and looks for it. And it's unusual for Calle to take a roughing minor. He gets one, and that's why the Senators have plenty of time here to work.
Adam Oates looking towards referee Dave Jackson and saying, hey, let's go, we're ready. While the Senators would like to rest their power play group. McEachern doing a veteran move right there, making sure he adjusted the tape on his stick. McEachern will draw against Oates. Oates out there along with the Witt and Riki to penalty kill and protect Oleg Kolzig. Senators 5-on-3. They trail by 1 in the early going. Redden stepping in. Fires, closing a pad save. Oates able to clear. Nice job to finesse around one checker and use the boards. Alexei Yashin, the marvelous high-scoring pivot for the Senators. Working in with Alfredson, McEachern, Hossa, and Redden rounding out the quintet for Ottawa. And behind the play, a charging call coming from referee Fraser. A rambunctious Sean McEachern today has already drawn the ire of Callie Johansson and Joe Ricci.
And then Witter just got a little club to the back of the leg. These two teams really starting out here in a very unfriendly manner. It's going to be a charging call as you see the referees roll their arms. McEachern will have a seat. And you take a look at those penalties, Joe. That's called a dumb penalty. You're on a 5-on-3. There's no need to take a charging minor. But McEachern, he likes to play a physical style. There, the coach is not going to be happy with McEachern sitting at 6:41.
Sean McEachern back above the 20-goal plateau again this year. 5th time in his 9 NHL seasons that he's been a 20-goal getter.
Yeah, he has 27, Joe, and he had 29 all of last year. And there was a lot of talk last year because of Yashin not playing that this guy wasn't going to score goals, but he did. He scored 29. He's going to hit over 30. I think this year he's a very talented gunner. He scores a lot of his goals from outside the tops of the circles because he has an excellent shot.
Approaching the 7-minute mark of the first period. 1-0 for Washington. Ottawa still has a manpower advantage. 4-on-3. Alfredson off of Hossa. On the perimeter and backpedaling away, it's Redden. There's Yashin with a one-timer, and this game is tied.
Unbelievable shot, and I was just going to mention, Joe, before Yashin got the puck, that Brendan Witt stood him up and just hammered him. Put him on his keister just inside the blue line before this play developed. But he got right back up and receives a rink-wide pass from Wade Redden, and he just rips it past Ole Kolzig. One more look. Here's Yashin opening up for the one-timer. You take a look at that shot, very similar to the Capitals' Peter Bondra in style. The way he backs up, received the pass, and it was a one-timer flick of the wrist. The Senators have tied it up.
Nearly a third of now Yashin's 32 goals this season have come on the power play. This one's a power play strike 4-on-3. Redden the primary assist. Yashin, the power play goal-scoring leader for the Senators, has Ottawa and Washington tied at 1.
Yeah, he's the only guy in double digits in power play goals, and I wouldn't expect that on such a high-powered team, but that was his 11th power play marker of the season.
They're 4-on-4 for 40 seconds, and the Caps will have just a small sliver of a power play themselves. Bonk, wheeling out of the corner, Havlat. Curl and drag around Halper. Bonk to the goal mouth looking for Salo and right on through. Steve Konowalchuk takeaway. Konowalchuk in solo. Closing. And diving Lalime made the stop. Konowalchuk got his own rebound. Stop attempt. And again Lalime slammed the door. Second clear break for the Washington Capitals. Sacco hit pay dirt. Konowalchuk did not. Arvidsson grabbed around the arm by Bondra, and referee Fraser has a call here.
Yeah, it's going to be just as you called, a holding call. But Konowalchuk with Bondra heading to the box. Another breakaway. Uncharacteristically, the Ottawa Senators have allowed 2 already. Here's the 2 Ottawa Senators colliding on the half wall. Pearson part of that crash right inside the blue line. And here's Konowalchuk trying a similar play to Sacco, but he went to his forehand, Joe. And there you see the sprawling Lalime. Lalime's a goaltender that loves to sprawl out. Here's one more look at the speed and the grace of Konowalchuk trying to get the Caps back in the lead.
Steve Konowalchuk, we have mentioned time and again his heroics on the road this season. As we look at Bondra get too much of Magnus Arvidsson.
And that's not a good penalty. You don't like taking penalties in your offensive zone when you're attacking or between the two blue lines. If you're going to take a penalty, it's better to take one in the defensive zone, because at least then you have a chance probably to prevent a goal or a scoring chance.
The Senators just scored on a 4-on-3 power play as Sacco runs and fires. That's partially blocked and eaten up by Rakunik. When McEachern sets foot from the penalty bench right now, Ottawa is on the power play for 1 minute and 35 seconds. Whitfield, Riki, Sacco, Cote, the penalty killers in white for Washington. Yashin moves it to the point. Redden fires through a screen. That just hit Kolzig. He made a position save there, and the Caps are able to clear.
Well, it's going to be important this afternoon that the Capitals clear out in front. They've got some point men that can really bring it. You look at Redden, you look at Sammy Salo. They have very heavy shots, and so far the Capitals have done a pretty good job in front of Kolzig, making sure that they're gathering up those rebounds.
Redden ranks second on the Ottawa Senators squad in terms of power play assists. It's easy to see why with that big shot-forcing rebound. Rakunik through traffic. The ricochet winds up for Jeff Halpern, and he'll send it all the way. Quickly, we approach the midpoint of the first period. Washington 1, Ottawa 1. The Caps a goal from Joe Sacco. The Senators 1 from Alexei Yashin. Ricard Persson blasted around the corner curve. Boulis right there in tow with Bonk. Riki to fetch. Joe Riki has room. 27 seconds left in the minor for holding to Bondra. Ricard Persson, a 31-year-old Swede, moves through center. Blisters one around. Got past Boulis and Hossa. And Adam Oates will say thanks very much to a 2-on-2. Drop past Boulis. The return to the captain never arrived. Salo occupies Oates. Havlat, who had a pair last night in the losing effort for the Senators to the Rangers. With Hossa. Got through with Hossa carving in there. Wrist shot block. Havlat's follow-up was also stopped in front. Kallio Hodgson able to jimmy it free. Bondra back into the act. Bondra 65-footer. Waffle board save for the netminder Laline.
Capitals did a great job in that last shift. They blocked 3 consecutive shots. But you see the expertise and the very high-powered offense that Hossa and Havlat can bring to the table. It's important the Capitals play the body of those gunners.
Dackel to the corner. Dackel out there with Fisher and Arvidsson. Dackel, the hard-working Swede, fellow countryman. Kallio Hodgson right there on his back. York deals to the corner. 5-on-5, these two teams skate. We're even at 1. Less than 9 minutes to go in period 1. York to the end boards. Fisher, stick check by Johansson. Away come the Caps. A long outlet. Nicolishin trying to spring Bondra for the Caps' third breakaway of the period. It missed. It turns out to be icing. We'll bring you back for more of the first period festivities today, right here on HDS.
Hold on. You know what we need? We need Troy to sing too. And Carter DJ. Yeah, we could record it, upload it, and take it worldwide. New York, Philly, LA. We gonna be huge. Yeah.
I'm on the phone!
Verizon puts together the world's most powerful technologies so you can do whatever you want. Verizon.
It's a 1-1 contest between the Caps and the Senators, and intensity gives us a chance to look at the Caps starting lineups.
Yeah, there you take a look. Metro with Oates and Z-Man, Konowalchuk, Halpern, and Dallin returns to the lineup after missing 3 of the last 4. Sacco, Nico, Bondra, Booley, Whitfield, and Black. And on the blue line for Ron Wilson, Johansson and Witt stick together. Riki Gonchar, Zettler in for Kenny Klee with Cote, and that big guy right there, Zilla, minding the cage for the Caps here this afternoon.
One of 3 guys, Craig, with 34 wins. Kolzig, Brodeur, and Waugh all tied for the NHL lead in that department. Sacco from Riki at 2:52. Yashin from Redden and Hossa on a 4-on-3 power play. If you're a little late joining us, you're all caught up. Hard hitting along the boards. York fights through. Dallin and McEachern shoulder to shoulder. York didn't dance quickly enough to keep that one alive. The Senators regroup as it's sent all the way by Phillips. Riki the touch, and this is icing.
Well, the Senators have shown me something already in this hockey game, Joe. The wingers for the Senators are often filling in behind their D. It's going to be important for the Capitals wingers, since they're going to be pinched on by the Ottawa Senators this afternoon, to make sure they get the puck out, because York and Redden and Phillips, they really go down the wall. It's going to be important for the Capitals to exit the zone with flips or indirect passes against this very aggressive Ottawa Senators club.
An Ottawa team that has done nice work against the Southeast Division, the division in which Washington resides. Fourth and final meeting between these two. The one prior here at MCI Center, the last one at the tail end of January. Washington and Ottawa skated to a 1-1 draw. Offside, Steve Konowalchuk. Break time for us on HDS. The Caps entertaining the Senators in Washington.
Look at all the places you can get your oil changed. Still, you push yours beyond 3,000 miles. Because you're too busy? Well, I hope you don't have any pets. This is reformulated Quaker State. Protection beyond 3,000 miles under any driving conditions. It's been tested. And unlike some people's plans to change their oil on time, it works. Reformulated Quaker State. What more do you need to know?
Extra protection is a snap when you get your oil changed with Quaker State at this fine location.
When it comes to SUVs and vans, your Toyota dealer has all the right choices. In fact, more SUV choices than anyone, starting with a very affordable RAV4, all new and priced below last year. Toyota, the right one for you.
From the way companies process information to the way they share information. From the way they create ideas to the way they sell ideas. Secure old customers. Attract new customers. Use devices to extend their business. Leap ahead of someone else's business. At Sun, our technologies power the net for business. We're the dot in .com. What can we .com for you?
Hockey fans, we say there's only one place to go before and after games here at MCI Center. It's The Rock, located right across the street. 4 levels of big screen TVs, pool tables, and micro beers. See you a little later on at The Rock. Joe Sacco able to see the back of the net on a breakaway. A long send out from Joe Riki. Before the game was 3 minutes old, the Caps were on the board. And the Senators right now offsides. But while they were on a 4-on-3 power play, Mr. Alexei Yashin now has points in 9 of his last 10. He bombed one past Kolzig for a 1-1 draw.
And there's a guy that can bonk you with his size, Riddick Bomb. Last year, he was the #1 center because Yashin did not play for Ottawa. He also made the All-Star team again this year. There you look at his nice numbers. Again, over 20 goals. He should go surpass last year's total of 23. I call him the poor man's Bobby Holik. To me, they're identical in style. Holik a little stronger.
Zednik working in as Redden lost his footing. Zednik ran out of room. Got himself on a bad angle. Didn't get the backhand away.
And lost his footing probably on purpose there, Joe. And it could have been a tripping minor.
Cote challenging Lalim. And Lalim with a stop. Joe Beninati, Craig Laughlin upstairs with you today on HDS. We've got Al Koken ringside.
Joe, thanks very much. You guys were talking about Alexei Yashin, the way he scored his goal in the 4-on-3. By the way, that kind of reminded me of what Mary Lemieux did on Thursday night in Pittsburgh, that one-time slap shot from exactly that point. Well, Ron Wilson's got worries of his own, but for Jacques Martin, the questions remain. Do they need a point man for the power play? You hear rumors about Steve Duchesne being acquired. You talked about Salo coming back, Red and some big point guys, but they had to use Yashin on the point on that 4-on-3, and that is a persistent rumor that Ottawa's looking for some experience on defense, particularly a guy who can play the point on the power play. They think that is one of those things they need to try and put themselves over the top. We'll talk more about the trading deadline coming up for both sides as we continue in this game. Now back up to Joe and Craig.
Al, much appreciated. Wouldn't be Duchesne's first tour of duty in Ottawa. He's been there before. Hossa one-on-one against Witt. Hossa lock and load. Kolzig way out on top of that crease to challenge.
Yeah, there's several of those defensemen, getting back to Al's comment, Joe, and also a possible former Capital going to Ottawa. And that in the way of Phil Housley, who's always been a very strong power play guy, and that's sort of where his niche is right now in his twilight of his career.
Speculation this time of year, with the trade deadline approaching, is just a terrific fodder for many a conversation.
You're staying, Joe.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank goodness. Gosh, can I sign my lease now? Zamner, Hossa, Havlat out there. Hossa, oh, what a move. Kolzig made the stop. The rebound's played away. Metropolitan flips it into the corner. Johansson there, rubbed out by Persson. Metropolitan and Sacco on the overlap. Glenn Metropolitan, very shifty. One hands it towards the point. Pinballs around there out of the corner. Salo didn't get it clear for Ottawa just yet. 1-1, Caps and Senators, less than 7 minutes to go in period one. Metropolitan working the line, great pass. Sacco on the backhand stop. Follow-up chance, didn't get through to Lalline. Zamner lost it at center. Johansson in no particular hurry. Finds Metropolitan on the wing. Ron Wilson looks for the line change. He'll get it. 5 fresh folks out there for Washington. 5-on-5 reskate, even in full strength. A late afternoon matchup, a 1-1 tie, and an icing call against Ottawa.
Well, I tell you, when you take a look at this last nifty move, Joe, as we look at Alfredson, they've got some high-powered offense. As we take a look at the dimension data, Caps win, you win.
Alfredson, Dackel, 6-1, half dozen to the other. Tonight's contestant in the Caps win, you win contest, Corey Wright of Castleton, Virginia. If the Caps win this evening, Corey will receive an autographed piece of Ole Kolzig gear. Dimension Data will also make a generous donation to Best Buddies Inc. in her name. Enter online at hometeamsports.com or didata.com. When the Caps win, everyone wins. Yes, they are a high-powered, very fun-to-watch, fast-skating team. These Ottawa Senators and these Washington Capitals, for that matter. The Caps on a 4-game winning streak. They've been averaging more than 4 goals a game during that stretch. Black up in arms. Black, Nikolic, Bondra on ice. Dackel, Yashin, McEachern. The top line for Jacques Martin. Nice pass from Yashin to McEachern. Rudely handled in the corner by Joe Ricci. 4 players in that skirmish. They continue to pitchfork for it. To the point, York sends it on its way, and Kolzig shrugged his shoulder at that. Peter Bondra on the hop. Black, Gonchar joining. Gonchar trips wide. Centering pass was snared and played clear by Andreas Dackel. Brendan Witt gained the center stripe. York volleyballs it. It's a legal hand pass to Arvidsson. Arvidsson skipping down the wing. Agnes Arvidsson finding Fisher. Gobbled up by Halpern. Fisher strong on his skates. Dahlen was dragged down by Alfredson. Arvidsson to the front. Blocked away by Witt. Arvidsson reloads, and Kolzig went to the splits. Rakunik joining from his point position. Alfredson's pass to the front was blocked. Redden did not keep it in. Ottawa has to hit the rewind button. And referee Kerry Fraser has another penalty call to come. We'll tell you who's guilty right after this.
Wait. How would you have done playing in the Bubble Boys League?
Where is he? He's behind the net again. Go get him. We can't. We don't go back there. Look, his arms and legs are moving. He is smaller in person. Hey.
I think it had done pretty well.
What did he say? Let me at him!
Go ahead.
You're not going to stop me?
Looking for appliances? Then look no further than Sears. Sears is the only place that carries all 6 top brands. Emphasis on the word only. And hey, if by chance you find a lower price somewhere else, we'll match it, guaranteed. And with over 70 years of experience, why look anywhere else? So the next time you need appliances, come to Sears. The good life at a great price, guaranteed.
Folks, the winter issue of Sports Fan Magazine, the only magazine about the life and times of America's sports fans, is free at www.sportsfanmagazine.com.
The Capitals go to the power play. High stick to Alfredson. We pick up the roll right here. Here's Alfredson going to the corner. And watch as he's finished off by Brendan Witt. And Witter got the stick up, but Alfredson's stick hit the face of Brendan Witt. Good job by Witter making sure his arms were down. They got their sticks tangled. Alfredson heads off, Caps with the extra man.
And this will be their first full-fledged power play of the day. As things get bogged down at the attacking line, we get the whistle. Washington's prolific power play is in the very, very capable hands of Adam Oates.
Well, Adam Oates has just been terrific. The penalty killing unit, the power play, you look at all the statistics. Adam Oates is the catalyst. They take a look at the assist leader on the power play. 31 helpers. And his shooting percentage, what I like, Joe, his last 19 games, he's not only been dishing the puck, his shooting percentage over 30%. It's not a bad idea when Adam Oates gets the puck to shoot it.
That's terrific. 5 assists over the 3-game season set against the Senators. And interestingly and oddly enough, the guy who leads the NHL in power play points this season was the primary man in one of the trades that landed Oates here. Jason Allerton of Boston has the most power play points in the league. Oates working on a give-and-go situation with Metropolitan. Skipping along the goal line. Oates drags it back. Gunjar moves one wide. Rebound off a lively carom. Zednik was pawing at it, and he's going to draw a crowd.
And he's going to draw the left hand of big defenseman Chris Phillips, who just turned 23 a couple of days ago, and he gave him a little sock to the face right there, Joe. We'll have some coincidental minor penalties, I think, doled out here.
Phillips is a guy Ottawa loves for his poise and his leadership abilities, and he's also, Craig, not afraid to be physical. Big partner at 6'3", 220.
But it's interesting, when the Capitals do have this power play, it's pretty obvious to me that the Ottawa Senators have scouted them because they're taking away that backdoor pass. Here's the play down low to Metro. Metro gets it, and back to Oates it goes, and the slap shot. But Big Phillips in front slid right across with his body to prevent that Metro pass. Watching the left side here, there's the end of the shot. But just prior to that, Phillips laid his body down. So they're definitely not going to want to tap in from Peter Bondra, who's burned a lot of teams this season.
And the Caps qualify themselves as a point shot power play. And Ottawa fronting there, trying to take away both Bondra and Gonchar. Very difficult to do, obviously, when you're a man short. So Oates and Metropolitan will have to find another avenue to get it to the Gunners. And they will, after a while. This power play's just been that good for so long. Under 4 minutes. Quickly, we are under 4 minutes to play in the first period. 1-1. Bondra full speed ahead. Oates with momentum. Hooks off. Lost his edge. Walked right into Dackel. Dackel and Yashin on the takeaway for the Senators. Yashin turning the corner. Alexei Yashin going to play keep away with Salo. There's 30 seconds left in the power play.
And this is a new thing for Alexei Yashin. He was always a power play guy and a regular shift guy. Well, this year, Zach Martin has used him on the penalty kill. And with the help of assistant coach Barry Byrne, they've worked on that aspect of his game. And he's really helped the Senators in killing off penalties this season.
Yashin, a much talked about suspended player by the Senators last year. A bitter contract squabble. Dahlin maneuvering down the wing. Dahlin finding open room behind the cage. Crunched there by Redden. Redden skitters it ahead. Hossa will move it for Zamner. Zamner throughout his time in the NHL, now in his 12th season as a pro, long recognized as a top penalty killer. Halpern carefully to Cote. Even in full strength, these two teams skate. Shots on goal favoring the Caps, 12-11. Dahlin looking for more. Dahlin marked by Salo. Alfredson, the captain for the Senators. Daniel Alfredson, 3-on-3. He'll keep it himself. To the front, right on through. Bonk had a stick lifted by Zettler. Ottawa in the road black. Bonk for Alfredson. Takes the return. Radek Bonk looking to create. Picking up Redden just off the player's bench. Kolzig had a stick ready. Sacco was turning up ice. Didn't see it. Brent Whitfield with composure. Lost it at center. Zettler working in back with Brendan Witt. Captured out Ken Klee again today. Chris Simon is on the shelf. Same for Dmitry Krista. Dackel as far as the line for Yashin. To the front. Turn around. McKicker just dragged that one wide. He hooked it off the far post. And wide of the net. Carl Rakunin letting Lalime play it himself. Pack. McEachern content to play it along the boards. John Shaw will reverse with Black's assist. Nikolation has some breathing room. Trickles it ahead for Bondra. Bondra ran into the linesman, one hands towards the slot. And Persson was right there to play it. The speedy McEachern is in. McEachern, great save, Kolzig. Rebound, they score. On the follow-up chance, Marian Hossa.
Unlucky bounce for Ole Kolzig. Made a terrific stop on the McEachern breakaway. But Marian Hossa, in his age bracket in the National Hockey League, and he's just 22 years old, Joe, he's as gifted as any player, and he bats that baby with one hand into the back of the net with under a minute left here in this first period. Here's a play by Joe Ricci. A lucky bounce goes to the Senators' way. Here's the snapshot. Look at Hossa come in, Joe. And that's a one-handed backhand that finds the back of the net. Here's the look. There's the bouncing puck. He's pretty well tied up by the back checker. But notice as he gets the shot away with one hand and up and over the outsprawled left leg of Kolzig. Off his glove, off his pad, 2-1 Senators.
Marvelous talents of Marian Hossa. A work in progress that's just getting better and better and better. The thing that always impresses me, Craig, about Hossa is his speed. For a big man, he has terrific speed. Straight away, straight line acceleration. Havlat, pretty nimble in his own right. Walked right into Johansson. Havlat testing Kolzig and marked that one down. That's a good stop and a crucial one, as the Caps were nearly down 2 to the Senators late in the first.
Well, you look at Hossa, and then you look at Havlat, who was a 26 overall pick in '99. He played the last 2 seasons in the Czech Elite League, and he had 42 points in 46 games, which is a great league. This year, you look at his numbers, 34 points. He came to camp at about 175. He knew he had to bulk up because of the rigors of the NHL. He's playing at about 190. There's that quick release that he has. Havlat and Hossa, the two guys that we said they've got to clip the young wings. So far, Hossa's got the better of the Caps here in the first.
15 seconds left in that opening period, and Ottawa threatening again. Off to the corner, Fisher leaving it to Arvidsson off of his boot. Zettler calming things down, places it back to center ice. Dackel there, 3 seconds now, 2, and the siren comes, ending the first period of play this Sunday afternoon. A late afternoon matinee got off to a great start early on. Joe Sacco at the 2:52 mark with his 6th. But Yashin and Hossa, two of the very bright lights for the Ottawa Senators, responding in succession. And it is the Senators who will march off to the dressing room, a 2-1 leader after one. Stick around. Our first intermissions activities will roll your way in just a few moments. Al Koken should have a guest. Craig and I have highlights and stats after these words.
The world is on internet time. Are you ready? We are. Sitel.
Yeah, I miss you too. Verizon Wireless, the most reliable digital network in the Washington-Baltimore area, now gives you expanded home calling from Philadelphia to Richmond. Plus, get 1,700 total home airtime minutes, including Verizon Wireless Long Distance, all for just $34.99 a month. Call 1-800-2JOIN-IN or drop by a Verizon Wireless communication store or participating retailer. Verizon Wireless. Join in.
Farm can save you up to 30% off their already affordable car insurance rates. In Northern Virginia, these agents are awaiting your call to see if you qualify for the auto discount program. Call today and find out why State Farm is the world's leading car insurer.
Having fun yet?
Well, we got your fun. Big time. Dave & Buster's. Terrific food served wherever you please. And the adrenaline rush of over 200 state-of-the-art games in the $1 Million Midway. High-tech simulators and interactive games. Hey, come on. We're waiting on you. Dave & Buster's.
Big time fun!
Over the years, Charlie has always been there for his sons.
I don't want to have to bust a cap.
Until they discovered...
We got a major screw loose.
He wasn't all there. Now, the three of them...
You might not have fly this thing.
...are out to save the two of him.
I'm not through with you! We're coming, Daddy! We're coming!
Jim Carrey.
He may have advanced illusionary schizophrenia with involuntary narcissistic rage, but he is a very gentle person.
Me, myself, and Irene.
This month on Direct Ticket Pay-Per-View on Direct TV.
Orioles baseball. Catch the class of 2001 on HTS in March. Cal Ripken, Mike Bordick, and super slugging David Segui are back where they belong. High-octane kids Ryan Kohlmeyer, Jerry Hairston, and Chris Richard fuel a new charge. Watch 5 Orioles Grapefruit League games on HTS in March. And coming in April, catch the beginning of the exciting new season with the Orioles class of 2001 on HTS.
Washington Capitals score the first goal of this hockey game. The Ottawa Senators respond with the next two. They've got a 2-1 lead after 20 minutes here at MCI and on HTS. Al Koken back with you. And speaking of first goals, quite an honor the other night for our guest, Trent Whitfield, who got his first National Hockey League goal against the New York Rangers. What's going to be your lasting memory of that night?
Probably just being relieved. I finally got it. It's been a long time coming, and I was more relieved than excited, I think, when it happened, and I'm just looking for more to come.
What needs to get done the rest of this hockey game, a fast skating Ottawa team out there?
Well, we got to keep it to the outside and limit the turnovers in the middle and get it deep on these D and really work them down low. I think that's probably, if any of this team is maybe their weakest point, and we just want to exploit that as much as possible, keep it out of the middle, and just limit their offensive opportunities, obviously.
All right, Trent, thanks for the visit, and congratulations on goal number 1. Hope there's many more to come for Trent Whitfield, and the Capitals will need some as they trail the Senators by 1. Back with more on HTS.
I'll be right out. Let me just put this Bud Light away. Hey, Otto. Come on.
Honey, where's Otto? Otto? Otto?
With a great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down. Make it a Bud Light.
Looking for appliances? Then look no further than Sears. Sears is the only place that carries all 6 top brands. Emphasis on the word only. And hey, if by chance you find a lower price somewhere else, we'll match it, guaranteed. And with over 70 years of experience, why look anywhere else? So the next time you need appliances, come to Sears. The good life at a great price, guaranteed.
Why don't you go to work, Daddy?
I work here.
You don't have a sign outside.
Well, I do, sort of.
Nah.
Oh, I have a secretary. And a receptionist.
No, you don't. It always seemed like you work at all.
Verizon puts together the world's most powerful technologies so you can do whatever you want, whenever you want. Verizon.
Fans, let former Washington Bullets guard LeBradford Smith help you with your automotive needs at Herb Gordon Volvo. Regardless of the make or model, LeBradford will personally assist you. Herb Gordon Volvo, located in the Montgomery Auto Park in Silver Spring. Here in the D.C. area, the Washington Capitals are unbeaten in 9 of their last 11 at home, and they tangle with one of the East's very, very best, the Ottawa Senators. After 20 minutes, it's 2-1 for the Sens. Joe Beninati and Craig Lachlan with you. And Craig, I know you've got your second win back. It
Yes,
looked like
sir.
the pace of play favored Washington at the start of the game, and then towards the tail end of the first, Ottawa took over.
Yeah, I think the Yashin goal really set the Capitals back on their heels. The Capitals didn't really exploit the defense like Trent Whitfield was talking about. They didn't get the puck in short side. If you hammer it around on this team, they really overload. I think the key for this period is to dump it short side, force their D to go back and try to move it out that way.
One positive for Washington, they've had 2 solo breakaways in clean, and they converted on the first one thanks to Joe Sacco.
And it's a nice play by Sacco because he had to come across onside. Here's Colton Greeke, and notice Sacco circles over on to make sure he's onside, and then a nifty backhand move beating Laline. No chance for the netminder.
Number 6 on the year for Joe from Joe Ricci at 252.
And here's the Senators working down low. Hossa gets it back to the point to the D-man, and watch him throw it across for a perfect one-timer for Alexei Yashin. It doesn't get any prettier than that.
Lots of room on a 4-on-3 power play, and then Hossa before the end of the frame.
Lucky bounce, McEachran in. Hossa being tied up by Joe Ricci, and he one-hands it. The puck was rolling, got a chunk of it, enough to get it up and over Oli Kozig's left leg.
Hossa now just 2 goals away from the 30-goal mark. Our Mercedes-Benz statistics after 1. Plenty of shots for our viewers to enjoy.
And I don't think that favors the Washington Capitals against this team. Too many shots against. They allowed the Ottawa Senators 7 scoring chances. Face-offs even, Stephen. The power play a factor for Ottawa. The Caps got to stay on the box. And there you look at the offensive zone time. About 2 minutes more in the Capital zone. You'd like to see those numbers reversed.
You always tell me the coaching staff likes to see scoring chances around a dozen.
Yeah.
The Senators are already more than halfway there. Mother and daughter, I presume. 2-1 Ottawa after 20. We're back with period 2 next.
The world is on internet time. Are you ready? We are. Sitel.
Through my hockey career, I've learned that experience cannot be overrated. The same thing applies to the automotive business. And Capital Cadillac has been serving the Washington metro area for over 65 years.
Experience the power of and the fusion of design and technology with the all-new redesigned Cadillac Savane DeVille. Available with night vision and OnStar. You can take immediate delivery on the DeVille of your choice.
Experience the difference today at Capital Cadillac.
Conveniently located on the Capitol Beltway in Greenbelt, Maryland.
Yeah, I miss you too.
Verizon Wireless, the most reliable digital network in the Washington-Baltimore area, now gives you expanded home calling from Philadelphia to Richmond. Plus, get 1,700 total home airtime minutes, including Verizon Wireless Long Distance, all for just $34.99 a month. Call 1-800-2JOIN-IN or drop by a Verizon Wireless communication store or participating retailer. Verizon Wireless. Join in.
Sunday Night Fights on HTS. Pound for pound, the best fighters in the world go toe-to-toe. Witness this boxing fury from a ringside seat. Sunday Night Fights on HTS. Capitals hockey in March.
Get intense on HTS.
HTS puts you smack in the middle of the Caps' rush for the playoffs. He scores! Face off with Peter Bondra, Ole Kozik, and the Caps in 13 huge games against the likes of Super Mario and the Pens, plus 3 crucial contests with bitter division rival Carolina. Postseason play is officially on the line. Catch the Caps' march for the playoffs all March long on HTS. Don't miss super scorer Peter Bondra and the Caps rush for the playoffs.
Back off the Christian backside score! Bondra on the slam dunk!
The Capitals, the Mighty Ducks, Tuesday night at 7 only on HTS.
Caps fans, we hope you'll join us for a WB50 Family Night package game on the 13th of March. That's this coming Tuesday. Anaheim's in town. 7 o'clock's the start time. The packages start as low as $72. You get 4 tickets, 4 sandwiches, 4 chips, 4 drinks, 4 Caps hats. Call 202-266-CAPS to be a part of a WB50 Family Night game. Ottawa leading Washington 2-1 in the 4th and final meeting between these two. They'll get together for period 2 if you stay right here with us on HTS.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for coming. And in closing, I'd just like to say that I'm going to give this job everything I've got.
What? It is over? No questions for us?
Well, he's a star. Hey, watch your mouth.
Hey, Wayne. You and your wife want to go to a party? Sure. Can my friends come with us?
Ooh la la.
Absolutely.
Hello, baby.
Hey, girls.
I told you, he is the great one.
That's not what you said.
All hail Wayne.
Oh, boy.
Epic.
Come on, Bibbs!
You've been calling for it, now we've got it. Announcing the Pork Chop Biscuit from Hardee's. A tender, whole, boneless pork chop lightly breaded on a famous Hardee's made-from-scratch biscuit. America's best tasting biscuit. The Pork Chop Biscuit. Come and get it. Only at Hardee's.
Team. Logicon FTC partners with industry leaders like EMC, Sun, Remedy, and Veritas to provide the federal government with the best in information technology.
You can shake an apple off an apple tree. Shake, shake, sugar, but you never shake me. I'm gonna stick like glue. Stick because I'm stuck on you.
Mercedes-Benz E-Class, available with 4MATIC all-wheel drive. Whatever the weather, these babies stick.
I'm gonna stick like glue. Stick because I'm stuck on you.
Capitals hockey in March.
Get intense on HTS.
HTS puts you smack in the middle of the Caps' rush for the playoffs.
He scores!
Face off with Peter Bondra, Ole Kozik, and the Caps in 13 huge games against the likes of Super Mario and the Pens, plus 3 crucial contests with bitter division rival Carolina. Postseason play is officially on the line. Catch the Caps' march for the playoffs all March long on HTS.
HTS coverage of Capitals hockey being brought to you by Subway. Subway, the way a sandwich should be. By your local area Mercedes-Benz dealers. And by Jim Coleman's Montgomery Mall Toyota, where you're the boss and we make your deal. The Washington Capitals and the Ottawa Senators, the Caps, have actually gone unbeaten against the Senators in their last 3 visits to MCI Center. This is the capital city clash, if you will, between Washington, D.C. and Ottawa. As the Caps coaches return to the players' bench, Washington trailing by 1. Folks, we remind you it's Iceland season. HTS and Iceland Air want to send you and a friend on an Iceland adventure of a lifetime. You can join some of your favorite HTS announcers for river rafting, volcano tours, glacier hiking, and more. You must be 18 years of age or older to win. Enter online at icelandair.com or send a postcard to the address on your screen. Get ready for Iceland season. Yashin and Hossa for the Senators. Sacco for the Caps. 2-1 Ottawa through 1 before we start period 2. Here's Al Koken and a special guest.
Well, Joe, thank you very much. As you just reminded our HGS viewers about this fabulous trip that Iceland Air is promoting. And joining me right now is Gunnar Eklund, who's the North American General Manager for Iceland Air. What can the people expect on this trip? It sounds great.
Well, first of all, I think everybody should make sure they get a couple of nights of real good sleep, because it's going to be a very hectic and very intense both day and night time. On the daytimes, we take you people out on the glaciers, snowmobiling, horseback riding on the famous Icelandic horses, and swimming in the hot springs and the Blue Lagoon. And at night, we're going to sample the nightlife of Reykjavik, which is world famous.
Well, certainly when anytime I hear nightlife, Craig Laughlin's very interested. Gunnar, thank you very much. We look forward to it.
Thank you very much.
Gunnar Eklund, North American General Manager of Iceland Air. Craig, nightlife, Iceland, it's all you, buddy.
It sounds like a wonderful trip, Al Koch, and I'm looking forward to making that trip, and I'm hoping my partner Joe B will be alongside.
I was watching you while Gunnar was speaking, and when he mentioned the Blue Lagoon, you weren't so thrilled. But nightlife in Reykjavik, that seemed to get your attention. 17 seconds into our second period, Kerry Fraser is getting the attention of some of the off-ice officials.
Something behind the stands, possibly, Joe. They're throwing up a towel behind Lalim.
That's usually not a good sign.
That is not a good sign.
Although,
that's for the goal judge, so maybe that is a good sign. He's cleaning the glass in front of him.
Gotta make sure you can see. Come on, Jimmy, that's the way to do it. Jim Wiseman.
And that means probably there's a problem with the goal light, Joe, and when the goal goes in, he's going to wave the white towel.
That's more than likely the situation until they can get an electrician over there.
Let's hope he waves it a lot this period.
That's the end the Caps fans want to see the towel wave. Redden, angled there by Dahlin through center. Brendan Witt, whacked by Yashin. Konowalchuk sends out Jeff Halpern. 2-1 Ottawa. Just underway in the second period, even in full strength. The two teams skate. Halpern, one-handed for Dahlin. He's got the defender hung up. Dahlin slipping it for Gonchar. Point drive. Stick save Lalim. Yashin will clear the front. Dackel will try McEachern. And McEachern will place it into the Washington zone. Jacques Martin wants the shift change on the go.
Come on, baby.
Washington with the Senators today and tonight. They've got Anaheim here Tuesday, Carolina Thursday, Buffalo Saturday, the conclusion of a 5-game homestand. Bondra pivots out of the corner. Gonchar fires! Knocked down by Lalim. It's loose in front. Whitfield was digging, but Lalim found it.
Well, some great puck movement. We'll take a look at that last play, but let's first look at our Capital Cadillac League standings, focusing on the Eastern Conference. You see the Ottawa Senators, New Jersey Devils, and the Washington Capitals leading the divisions. You look at the points, 89, 87, 84, proverbial four-pointer here tonight at MCI. Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, Buffalo, Toronto, Carolina, and Boston just 2 points out. Carolina's got to need some wins, Joe, and they still face the Capitals, I think, the 3 spot 3 more times.
That's right, 3 more head-to-head. Carolina lost today to the red-hot Edmonton Oilers. The Oilers go to Raleigh and win their 8th straight, so Washington can actually bump its Southeast Division lead to 15 if they come from behind against Ottawa.
Messier and Gretzky playing for Edmonton. How about the great one on the ice in Phoenix? Practicing a little bit with the team, Joe. Says he's just out there just to take a little skates. How would that be if he came back?
Little recreation. Getting to know the players in the organization.
I'll tell you what, he'd be a great alumni player.
Yeah, he'd be pretty good. Gonchar drills that one off the side of the cage. Peter Bondra's line on ice. Bondra, Whitfield, and Black for the moment. Phillips to the wing. Alfredson chops it ahead for Bonk, and Bonk will just layer it back into the Washington end. Gonchar and Lacroix there. Eric Lacroix, the son of Avalanche GM Pierre Lacroix, much traveled winger, many times traded. Gonchar showing Lacroix the end boards.
It's not a good sign when your father trades you.
And Bondra gets back. Phillips didn't get there first. Bondra touched it. The icing's washed off. Black leaving it back behind the cage. York. Looking for Alfredson. Delicately to Lacroix. Cote comes over to cover him. Rob Zettler, 32-year-old Quebec native, wheeling out of his own zone. Oates, Zednik, Boulis on ice for Washington. Jan Boulis finished off by Salo. Boulis protecting it well, drags it back behind the goal. Oates to the front. Zednik! And he had it robbed by Lalime.
Grand larceny right there by that netminder, Joe. He's off to a great year so far, and Patrick Lalime, it will be a fabulous year if they can win a playoff series this season. Lalime's a big netminder, and here's a look at our dimension data look. Notice how Adam Oates finds Richard Zednik, and Zed just doesn't stand in the passing lane. He moves over, which forces a defenseman. They're unsure of what to do, and that was even deflected, it looked like, at the end of that by the defenseman. That's a heck of a stop.
Talking about the Senators and the playoffs, the furthest Ottawa has ever gone, the present-day 9-year-old Senators, the furthest they've ever gone, the conference semis back in '98, when Washington took them out in 5 games.
Well, there's a look at Lalime, 6'2", 192-pounder. Picked up his franchise best 23rd win versus the Avalanche on February 15th. The problem with Lalime, who has a 1-1-1 record against the Capitals, he has not played in any postseason games. There's a look at Jacques Martin, the head bench boss. And we send out our well wishes to that guy, Roger Dodger Nielsen, 66-year-old assistant coach behind the bench here tonight. That's a great sign. The last time in, he wasn't healthy enough to be behind the bench, Jim.
Roger Nielsen, neckwear, his specialty.
Just like my partner.
Thanks, I think. Not.
And good sign for Roger Nielsen fans. The last week or so, he stopped taking the medications and has resumed daily runs and cycling. And he can't wait to cycle the 6 miles from his condo to Corral Center. He's working up to that. So all things look very positive to one of the greatest guys in the National Hockey League.
Great news. Sergei Gonchar striding back to gather. Gonchar with the puck, 16:20 to go in the second period. The Caps and the Senators are tied up at 1. Or rather 2-1 for Ottawa. Check that. Marian Hossa on the board late, giving Ottawa the advantage. The whistle, the stoppage in play. Fans, it's a hit. Logicon FDC will be teaming up with industry leaders like EMC, Sun, Remedy, and Veritas to provide the federal government with complete IT solutions. Our friends at Logicon, once again, helping us provide you with the NHL coverage on HTS. Glenn Metropolitan has assists in back-to-back games. He had a 2-goal game against Ottawa a season ago. Cote hooks it around the corner curve. Metropolitan run into there rather rudely by Redden.
And that was that pinching I was talking about, but it was a good job by the Capitals to make sure they exited the zone. Redden loves to pinch, and it puts a lot of pressure on wingers. That was a good job by Metro making sure it exited the zone.
Ottawa a 2-1 leader. The Senators with the best intra-conference record in the NHL's Eastern Conference. Ron Wilson knows a thing or two about winning games against the East. But Jacques Martin's club coming in with 39 victories overall. They're 21 games over 500, and they have the most road victories of any team in the East. Looking for another today in a building that's very, very difficult to win in.
And in back-to-back games, they haven't fared so well this season, have the Senators. On the second night of back-to-backers, which they've had 16 and will have 16, they're just 5-7-1.
Right off the draw, Witt with a shot that was stopped. Connor Walchuk's rebound, ditto. And away comes Ottawa's Sean McKecker, a Massachusetts native, using the boards, trying to play a pass to himself. Witt and Johansson hold him up.
I love doing that.
And you have the same speed.
No, I just like passing to myself, nothing about speed.
Dackle high and hard. Kolzig with low vision. Redden kept it in. Along the wall, Rakunik. Round and round with Konowalchuk. McKecker finding Yashin. He'll isolate on Johansson. Centering pass right through the feet of Andreas Dackle. Konowalchuk whacking back through center, and he chopped the stick out of Rakunik's hands, and Steve Konowalchuk is going to get the gate for it.
Yeah, it's going to be an interference call. We've seen a couple of those the last couple of games where forwards or defensemen hack the stick out of the hands of the opposition players. Connor Walchuk's going to go off 2 minutes for interference. And partner, you nailed it. There's the stick going out of the hands. But you notice the defenseman has his stick in his left paw, but that's not called. There's a play by Connor, number 22 on number 23. Rakunik draws the minor penalty. Caps go shorthanded.
Steve Konowalchuk not able to assist the penalty killers in this instance. Out there, Trent Whitfield, Joe Sacco, Brendan Whitten, Calle Johansson.
Look at this interesting lineup. Look where they have their one forward, Joe, way away from the play.
They win the draw back and they look for the long, quick up. It's all muted, though, because Whitfield won the faceoff for Washington. The Ottawa Senators, who have power play goals now in 3 straight games, including Yashin's back in the first, leading this one 2-1. Hossa. Stick handling on the perimeter away from Sacco. Salo bombs one well wide. Witt lifting Havlat's stick. Havlat nearly chiseled that beneath Kolzig, who awkwardly got down to cover.
Well, their whole power play starts in the bottom of the circle but ends up out at Sammy Salo. He whistled one past the Ranger netminder last night, but it was actually deflected. But a lot of people said he just found the back of the net, but it was redirected. One of Havlet's 2 last night. And notice Havlet getting in front of that, incoming on that baby, high and hard. Sammy Salo can bring it. Here's a look at our dimension data look from over top. Here you look at Kolzig looking around and scampering back. That Havlat guy has some good hands around the cage.
19-year-old had a pair last night against the Rangers. Havlat dragging to Hossa. Hossa chopped by Cote out of point position. It's Salo. Wrister this time. Kick out, stopped by Kolzig. Rebound there. All over the blocking save, and then it trickles in. It looks like Marian Hossa again in Ottawa.
Yes, it is, Joe. Good call. Hossa's got some quick hands. It looked like goalie Kolzig was controlling the puck on his blocker, but it rolled right over the blocker and into the back of the net. Marian Hossa, he's a complete offensive package, and here he gets his second goal of the evening and 29th of the season. But as I said, it starts with point shots. There's the quick hands, there's the bouncing biscuit, and he doesn't make many shots, Joe, but when he does, he finds the back of the net. Here's a great isolation.
Watch Havlat too, Craig.
Yeah.
Right at the line. That may have been in.
Might have got it, yeah.
He did touch it, but it may have already been in. Either way, the Senators celebrate. And Havlat will celebrate apparently with an ice bag on his wrist. 3-1 Ottawa. Early stages of the second period. Richard Zednik back. Oates taps it, leaving it to Sergei Gonchar. He does not go far. Fisher able to fling clear for the black sweatered Senators. Washington out shooting the Caps by 1, now trailing by 2. 3 unanswered goals for visiting Ottawa. York outputs it back into his own end, the 10th-year pro does. Using the boards, he didn't get it out. Fisher, with the help of Alfredson, will. Arvidsson, long strides. Magnus Arvidsson looking for the late guy. Fisher's drive deflected. Trickles well wide. Tries the stuff attempt. Richard Zednik had him covered. McEachern, soccer style to the corner. Fisher was dropped by Zednik. Stuff attempt. They score. Quickly wheeling to the front. McEachern has lifted Ottawa to a lengthy 3-goal lead.
Well, McEachern just came off the bench, Joe, so he had some very fresh legs. And he came off the bench just flying, kept the puck in with a soccer move at the wall, threw it down low, got his own little redirect, and then fired it out in front. Here's that little nifty play. Came out the short side unexpectedly and slid it underneath Ole Kolzig. There's the play by McEachern coming off the bench. The key here is Gonchar didn't have control of him, and there it is, slipping at 5-hole as Ole Kolzig went down to make sure he cut off the lower part of the net. Good fast play by McEachern.
Black trying to get it right back. And it bounced away as the Senators move in transition. McEachern full speed down the wing. Stops on a dime, plays it off. Dackel dummied it through. Yashin harassed by Zetler. Yashin still hanging on to it. Dackel, Swedish-born winger. Wrapped up there by Whitfield. McEachern to the corner. Yashin on the cycle. Dackel right to the front. Kolzig to stop. And the rebound winds up beneath. Holy Kolzig. My, oh my, how Ottawa has taken over this hockey game. Come on back on HTS.
Why don't you get us something to cool this fire down?
I got just the thing. I got 2 laws for that fire.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
That's not that bad.
It's Iceland season, and Home Team Sports and Iceland Air want to send you and a friend on an Iceland adventure. Join your favorite Wizards and Caps announcers for river rafting, volcano tours, glacier hiking, and more, plus more bars and clubs than you can handle. Enter online at icelandair.com or send your name, address, phone number, and age on a postcard to the address on your screen. So get ready for Iceland season.
Thousands of drivers are saving money by switching to Geico Auto Insurance. I'm here with one of them.
Hello.
You don't want your identity revealed. Why?
If word got out I saved so much, people would be hitting me up for money all the time.
Ah.
You through with the milk?
Sure, of course.
I have to be careful.
Geico Direct. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Fans for the best in limousine service in the Baltimore, Washington area, call Z-Best Limousine. Z-Best Limousine, the driving force and chauffeur transportation. 1-800-406-0301. A pleasant good evening to you on HTS. Joe Beninati, Craig Laughlin, Al Koken with you. It's not been pleasant so far for Washington. Ottawa has come to town, and they've run out to a 4-1 advantage as we are yet to the midway mark of regulation time. Dowling threw one right on. Lalime made a kick-out stop. Hossa fed it on through Havlat. It'll come the length. It'll be icing against the Senators.
Well, the Ottawa Senators, when you look at their goal scoring, Joe, only New Jersey and Pittsburgh have more goals for in the Eastern Conference. Big reason, they're great depth that they have, and they have players with speed and that can finish, and that was evident in today's game and also last night where Havlat had a couple of goals for this Senators club.
This Ottawa team has 4 different guys with at least 20 goals this season, and 3 of the 4 have already shown up on the scoreboard today. Radek Bonk has yet to join the party. McEachern with 28, Hossa now 28-29. Yashin, who's cracked the 30-goal mark with his 32nd. Dahlen, Halpern, Konowalchuk on ice. Hossa shouldered down to the deck by Konowalchuk. Ricard Persson, a 65-footer. Kolzig made that stop. Ole Kolzig, who's been going along at a great clip, roughed up for 4 goals here on the first 18 Senator shots. Brendan Witt back to get it. For the Washington Capitals, trailing by 3 on home ice. This is the first time that's happened since opening night this season, when the LA Kings came to town, steamrolled it. Craig Billington in the Caps defense. Alfredson taken away by Cote. Bonk at the line, and just a bit over anxious and offsides, the Senators. Ottawa with 2 goals, 62 seconds apart here in period 2. Hossa and McEachern. It is now 4-1 for the visiting Sens.
Now, when you take a look at this team, Joe, we talked about the youngsters. The key guy, how about Havlat last night? Messier got a double minor for this, Joe. There's 2 penalties for sure, a hook and a rough. Then another cross-check to boot, and then another cross-check right there. A lot of people in Ottawa said he could have got 8 to 10 minutes on one shift. Well, I tell you what, Havlat took it in the back, but he gave it right back to the Rangers. There's a deflection into the net, and then a power move out of the corner. And how about the guy he beats? Leach of the Rangers, one of the finest skaters in the NHL. Havlat puts it in. We take a look at our Toyota League leaderboard. There he is, Marty Havlat with 35 points, tied with Wisnowski. Havlat, the keeper in Ottawa.
Shane Willis, the top rookie goal scorer. We just looked at the point scoring leaders among freshmen, but Willis tallied in a losing effort for the Hurricanes today in Raleigh.
I love the way he skates, Joe.
God, he shoots it too.
Oh, man, but does he ever skate? And he seems to be light on his skates because he wears those Billy White shoes, Johnson skates. He looks really, really quick.
We'll see Paul Maurice's troops this coming Thursday. Hope you'll join us either here at MCI Center or on HTS. Nikolitin through center. Nikolitin will place it into the corner. Back to fetch. It's Carl Rakunin. And the Senators are bragging big time about this 21-year-old Czech native. Metropolitan towards the front. That's answered by the catching glove of Lalim. And he'll hold on.
He was lucky to keep that out of the net, Joe. He actually caught it right at the side. Lalim, obviously, at this juncture of the hockey game, you just want to continue to throw pucks at the net. And Lalim is the Ottawa Senators Masterton Trophy nominee for this season for perseverance and dedication. There's a nice catch right there with the Capitals trying to drive the net. One more look at the Lalim catch off the side of the net, Joe. There he is. Nice little backhand play, right? Looked like a shortstop there turning the hand over to make that stop.
Right off this face-off, it's Johansson blasting one towards the guy who's wearing those Marvin the Martian eyes once again on his mask. Oates, wraparound pass popping up and into the glove of Patrick Lalim. Where's Marvin?
It's an interesting story, Lalim, because he had to start in the East Coast Hockey League in Hampton, the Hampton Road Admirals. He came out of the Quebec League out of Shawinigan in 92 through 94. He then bounced around Cleveland, Pittsburgh, bounced around, and I think he's found a home here. You remember way back when he played for Pittsburgh, he went 14-0-2, the longest by a goalie to start his career, and then he was dealt.
He was a lead pipe cinch to be an NHL All-Rookie team that year, which he was for the Penguins. Richard Zednik swivels out of the corner, flopped it over the stick of Jan Bulis. Alexei Yashin for the Senators, didn't get it out. Dackel will with the help of Persson. Regrouping for Salo, onside through center, it's McKecker. Ole calls it, waits for the carom, and the turning Joe Ricci. You get a nice level look. Richard Zednik guides it ahead. Bulis carving past Phillips. Locked up there by York. Oates towards the goal mouth. Havlat will swivel it back. Hossa on the run. Sergei Gonchar was right there in his skating lane. Zamner, deep slot Havlat. Rister just off the outside as Kolzig flashed out the pad. Havlat driving in for a stuff attempt. Kolzig put the paddle of the goal stick down. The Senators with their exceptional speed creating scoring chances at will. Hossa lifting it back into the Washington end. 4-1 Ottawa if you're just tuning in. 9 minutes to go in period 2. Sergei Gonchar, the third leading NHL goal-scoring defenseman. Only Rob Blake and Brian Leach have more. As the puck winds up on the players' bench, we will pay some bills. Peter Bondra has got to get to work. The Caps trail by 3.
Hold on. You know what we need? We need Troy to sing too. And Carter DJ. Yeah, we could record it, upload it, and take it worldwide. New York, Philly, LA. We gonna be huge. Yeah.
I'm on the phone!
Verizon puts together the world's most powerful technologies so you can do whatever you want. Verizon.
The Germans are known for their meticulous approach to engineering, for their uncompromising attitude about performance. So why is it that the winner of a coveted German New Car Award isn't German? Introducing the new Volvo S60.
Epic! Come on, Bibbs!
You've been calling for it, now we've got it. Announcing the Pork Chop Biscuit from Hardee's. A tender, whole, boneless pork chop lightly breaded on a famous Hardee's made-from-scratch biscuit. America's best tasting biscuit. The Pork Chop Biscuit. Come and get it. Only at Hardee's.
Folks, the Verizon Community Calendar is hoping that you'll come and celebrate St. Patrick's Day with the Caps. The Buffalo Sabres are in town March 17th. 202-432-SEAT is the place to get your tickets. We're inundated with hats.
And
nice.
then look, I can switch.
Very nice.
I've got hats up here, Joe.
And we're ready to go to Iceland.
And did you read my hat?
Locker's great.
Yeah.
I did now. The live action in the NHL play resumes.
I know you never want to mess up your hair.
What? I would have put it on?
No, you wouldn't have. No, you wouldn't have.
Let's do the break with him. Whitfield down the wing. Dropped it off. Bondra. Severe angle, and he swept that pass behind a hard-charging Rob Zettler. Magnus Arvidsson for the Senators in their road black. Alfredsson lost his balance and then took a shoulder hit from Trent Whitfield. Zettler carefully back to center. 8 minutes to go in the second period. Ottawa trailed in this one 1-0, and they've rolled 4 unanswered up against the Washington.
They need a lucky leprechaun, right?
Throw that hat down towards the Caps players bench. Fisher. Spinning backhand pass never arrived on the tape of Lacroix. Hossa colliding with Halpern, and Halpern took the worst of that. Black coolly down the wing. Bondra in full stride with Salo. Salo gets there first. It's icing against Washington. Gives us some time to talk with Al Koken.
Joe, thanks very much. Well, with still about less than half a hockey game left, Capitals still have plenty of time to get back in it, but Ron Wilson not taking any chances. He knows the next goal is going to be vital for his team against Jacques Martin. He's juggled up the lines. You just saw Peter Bondra out there with Trent Whitfield and James Black. He's moved Sacco and Metropolitan on the wings with Andre Nikolic. He's also given his defensemen the green light. The usual suspects, guys like Calle Johansson and Sergei Gonchar, you expect them to jump up in the play, but I've noticed Brendan Witt twice in the last 3 shifts getting in there deep as well. So he's going for that next goal to try and change the momentum around with 7:30 to go here in period 2. Back up to you guys.
Brendan Witt, who has always played good defensively against Ottawa, has never scored against the Senators, now in 17 games. So jumping up into the play, hoping to get a nice looking chance. I should say Witt has never scored against the Senators in regular season play. If memory serves, he beat Tugnut in the playoffs back in '98. Phillips, arm barring of Dahlin. Dahlin, who's been in and out of the lineup in the last week or so with a stiff neck. Halpern shifting it to his backhand, lost the handle. Johansson to the corner. Konowalchuk back to Dahlin. Dahlin, a backhand feed, and that was deflected by Lalime. Good work by the goaltender, but then a penalty to come. A high-sticking call assessed by referee Jackson.
Now there's a chance now for the Capitals to get their power play out on the ice. Minor penalty is going to be doled out, and the Capitals will go to the extra man here. McEachern heads to the box, his second minor of the hockey game. So the Capitals now have to utilize that one-timer like they did the other night. Here's a penalty in front. Ouch. Lucky he had that face shield on. Jeff Halpern gets clipped up very high by Sean McEachern, who's the center trying to get back and help out. McEachern will have a seat at 13:15.
Second trip of the game to the penalty bench for McEachern. Senators will control, and Arvidsson will play it back. Magnus Arvidsson, the Caps did not see him in the last meeting here. He had a knee injury at the time. Bondra leads the NHL in power play goals. A wrap feed to Oates. Oates, a deft touch to Richard Zednik. Sergei Gonchar at one point, Bondra at the other. Oates working the half boards. Metropolitan stepping in. Backdoor score! Peter Bondra, his 20th power play goal of the season. He ties the Caps' single-year record.
Well, he's going to tie Denny Marouk's record of 80-81 with number 20. What a pinpoint passing play as Peter Bondra sneaks in the back door. It's a beautiful isolation. You have to arrive at the right time. And Metro laid out the pass. Bondra pounds her home. Caps right back in it, Joe. 2-goal lead, the worst lead in hockey.
As you would imagine, the comeback would begin with the Caps on the power play and striking. Pavel Bure, who picked up another couple of goals today, has 47. Peter Bondra now has 41 overall. 4-2 for Ottawa. 6 minutes to go in the second period. Bondra looking to capitalize on some momentum. Hossa spinning around and down. Havlat 3-on-3. Hossa's drive deflected. Okay, Gotchard a stick in the way, and then Havlat was spilled.
Yeah, Metropolitan's going to go off. 2 minutes for high sticking. It could even be a 4-minute minor, Joe, as the helmet's knocked off a Havlat. Metro will head to the box. Caps back in it, but we'll have to penalty kill when we return here on HTS.
James, what will your first act as commissioner of the Bubble Boys Hockey League be?
Right now, we have a great thing going with the red and blue teams, but down the road, I see us trying to expand. We'll add colors, orange, green, black. And my favorite, a crew.
What's in a crew? Shut up!
What else, Wade?
Well, if we're going to be as big as the NHL, we're really going to have to promote our stars.
Murph, how do I look?
Guys like Radio Robert.
What? Not the Tin Man.
Punks. Wait, how about a picture?
This is an outrage!
I knew I should have stayed home.
Pretty boy!
At Geico, we're always looking for faster ways to process your car insurance claims. One idea, airlifting claims adjusters right to the site of the accident. We're over the target.
I don't see the car!
It's that little black dot.
They're all little black dots!
Unlock! Oh, your laptop!
Geico Direct. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Metropolitan trying to back check here. The Capitals right back in it, but now they go shorthanded. There's the high stick to Havlat. Out during the timeout, Joe. He had Adam Oates come over to the referee, Kerry Fraser, and say, hey, if that's a 4-minute minor, why didn't you give McEachern 4 for clipping Jeff Halpern up top of the face? Metro, however, gets the worst of it as he's received a double minor for high sticking.
And the Senators' power play today has been peppering the net. This is their 5th opportunity. 2 of the 4 goals have come via the power play. Hossa, his 2nd of the day, and Yashin's 1st. Stalemate off the draw. Alfredson shakes it back to Rakunik. Redden working the power play point with him. Rakunik to the front, deflected wide by Alfredson. Nudged away from the front by Witt. Yashin darting to the slot, but McEachern off the heel of his blade and wide. Halpern, Witt, Colonel Walchuk, and Johansson, the penalty killers for the Caps. McEachern, Yashin, Alfredson, Redden, and Rakunik out there for the Senators. 4-2 Ottawa, moving towards the later stages of Period 2. In our nation's capital on HTS, along with Al Perkin and Craig Lockman, I'm Joe Beninati. Glad you've tuned in. Alfredson tees it up for Redden. Challenged by Konowalchuk. Easy pickings for Colton. And Halpern will deal the rebound back into Ottawa territory. Caps changing the penalty killers on the move. Alfredson slithers back in. Using the boards on through Bonk. Cote didn't get it past Alfredson. Havlat, a going concern all afternoon long with his speed and puck control. One-touch passing, Bonk jammed that one-timer well wide. Salo thumped by Whitfield. Joe Ricci to the glass, but not out yet. Havlat deals it back. Bonk skipping along the boards. Waved at by Whitfield. Salo wrist shot squeezed by Colton. No rebound. Ole Kolzig coming into today the 4th best save percentage on home ice of any netminder in the NHL. Ottawa has figured out a way to get a couple past him, but Kolzig now trying to protect the Caps and keep their comeback hopes alive.
When they've had the puck, the Capitals have played a pretty conservative box. There's the shot from the point, but notice that the two Ottawa Senators are kept at bay by the defensemen. If that shot from the point gets through and there's a rebound, the Caps were in textbook perfect position to prevent a second and third shot against the big guy, Ole Kolzig.
Ole has 20 stops this afternoon and early evening so far. Roberto Luongo leads the NHL in home ice save percentage, better than 93%. Kolzig over 92 here in D.C. Lalime waiting for Salo. Ottawa on an extended power play here. The double minor to Metropolitan. Still 2 minutes and 10 seconds left to kill for Washington. And Craig, we have pointed this out in the past many, many times. A good penalty kill situation here can shift the momentum back.
Absolutely. Big Mo can move around pretty quickly. And if they can kill this off, they're going to be in good shape. Right now, the second unit for the Senators is on the ice, and they've had a real tough time. It's going to be key now with under 2 minutes left in their second power play, Joe, for them to now shut down this first unit, Yashin, McEachern and company.
And Hossa rounding out the trio up top. McEachern leading it to the point position. Halper, nice effort, got it back to center. McEachern revolving right back in with Yashin. Yashin with a deadly wrist shot. It was deflected over Ole's head. Rakunik bumps it into the corner. Hossa surrounded there by Halper and Enrique. Rakunik slap shot well off the target. Yashin, a backhand pass. Ricky has McEachern gobbled up there. Hossa to Rakunik. Back to Hossa, closing. Kolzig to he made a stop. Rebound was loose along the goal line and covered up. And it's got to be covered up by Kolzig or else it's a penalty shot. Ole has it beneath him. And for this moment still, Kolzig and the Caps penalty killing, keeping Ottawa at bay.
Well, great goal scorers have to have a great set of hands. In this last play, Hossa demonstrates the quick hands that he has, Joe. He's stick handling and he shoots mid-stick handle. Here he is coming out. Notice how as he's stick handling, he still snaps the biscuit. There's the puck laying there. Connor Walchuk makes a diving save with his stick right there, preventing Hossa from getting his own rebound. Good job by Connor making sure this biscuit not in the net. Here's a good isolation of what a goaltender's feeling, and feeling the heat on the power play. Good job by Connor and the penalty killers keeping that baby out.
1 minute 9 seconds left in the double minor to Metropolitan. Alfredson out there along with Bonk and Havlat for the Senators, wearing their road black sweaters, their alternate third jersey. Johansson and Sacco, Whitfield and Witt, the four penalty killers for Washington. Lalime will venture about 40 feet from the crease to play it. And Sammy Salo, the 26-year-old Finn, will walk back through center. Thunders one to the end boards. Brendan Witt first to it. High off the glass, Salo kept it in the attack territory. Alfredson playing catch with Bonk. Daniel Alfredson back for Salo, a slap feed down low. Bonk backhands and scores. 3 power play goals today for the Ottawa Senators.
Well, that's why they're so happy to have Sammy Salo back on the point, Joe. He makes a heck of a fake slap shot and throws it down low to Reddick Bonk. And down low, Bonk gets a lucky redirect off a skate, I thought, from up here to collect his 22nd goal of the season. Here's a look at the play. Sammy Salo throws it down. Here's Bonk on the backhand. And that doesn't get redirected, Joe. I thought it did on that first look. Let's take a look one more time on our dimension data look from up top. There's the backhander, and it slides 5-hole under the pads of Ole Kolzig. Bonk has given back the Senators 3-goal lead.
Second time this year the Ottawa Senators have scored 5 against Ole Kolzig. The other instance coming back at Correll Center in a January 18th 5-4 Ottawa win. Peter Bondra of the Caps again trailing by 3, as my partner mentions. It's Phillips over the head of Arvidsson.
But they still have the firepower to get back in this hockey game. They showed that at the top of the show, Joe. When the opposition scores 3 or more goals, the Caps have just lost 1 game in the last 11 in regulation. The Capitals still have a lot of scoring punch and a lot of arsenal in their lineup, Joe. It's just a matter of getting going against this Senators club.
Funny, too, that up until last night, The Senators had not lost a game when trailing, or rather when leading after 2 periods. They lost to the Ranger come from behind effort. Zettler sends it towards Lalime. He'll block that aside. Phillips' backhand didn't get out. Zettler to the deep slot, waved at by York. York, who has been a very, very gritty performer this year. In several instances, Craig, he's been playing with a fractured ankle.
He's been a guy in the paper a lot up in Ottawa because he's an unrestricted free agent at the end of the year, and there's talk that he could be a guy that would be on the move come Tuesday in trade deadline time.
Under a minute to go in the second period. 5-2 for the visiting Senators. Hossa smashed by Cote. Boulis didn't clear. Redden on the wing for Havlat. 5-on-5 even in full strength. Havlat surrounded by white sweatered Caps. Boulis, his long send away was snatched away before it arrived at Richard Zednick's hockey stick. Oates to Boulis, winds and fires, and that found the shin pads of Carl Rakunik. Adam Oates came back up with a cross-check to Rakunik. Fortunately for the Caps captain, he didn't receive a penalty there. 12 seconds, now 11. Along the boards, Nikolation rattled by Redden. McEachern took care of Zednick. 2 seconds, a turnaround towards the front. A backhand that's blocked at the siren. 40 minutes of regulation time complete. No sale there for Richard Zednick late in period 2. Plenty of goals today for Ottawa. 2 in the first, 3 more in the second. Hossa, McEachern, and Bonk for the Senators. Bondra with a lone response for Washington. A power play goal. Peters' 41st overall on the season. And after 2, it's Washington trailing by 3. Second intermissions activities are coming your way in just a few moments right here on HTS. It's been the Senators doing most of the celebrating.
The Germans are known for their meticulous approach to engineering, for their uncompromising attitude about performance. So why is it that the winner of a coveted German New Car Award isn't German? Introducing the new Volvo S60.
Saturday and Sunday, you can save 40% and more on the retail value of every piece of furniture Marlowe sells. 40% and more on every bedroom. 40% and more on every living room. 40% and more on every dining room. 40% and more on the largest, most exciting furniture selection in town. On now, but only until 11 p.m. Monday. Don't miss out. Marlowe, Washington's only furniture superstore.
Having fun yet? Well, we got your fun at Dave & Buster's. Enjoy lunch or dinner in our grand dining room, a quiet oasis where the fun is in the dining. Plus amazing simulators, games of skill, and winners at every one. Come see us. We're waiting on you. Dave & Buster's.
Big time fun!
Now on Direct Ticket. Battlefield Earth.
When we attacked your planet, all your soldiers and all their advanced technology could only put up a measly 9-minute fight, which is why man is an endangered species. Nothing will help you.
Let it be said that we took this one chance and fought!
From one of the best-selling novels of all time, superstar John Travolta, Battlefield Earth, on Direct Ticket pay-per-view on DirecTV.
All good.
For many kids, growing up can be tough. That's why Nike and the NHL are taking hockey to the streets. In NHL cities all over North America, Nike NHL Street offers thousands of kids the chance to learn how to play the game, how to work together, and how to have fun, all in a safe environment. To get more information on Nike NHL Street, call 1-800-929-PLAY.
Very explosive second period to this hockey game. The Ottawa Senators taking control as they've got the lead after 40 minutes here on HTS and MCI Center. Al Koken back with you with a man who really got the Senators going today with some aggressive play. Also picks up a goal. Sean McEachern. Looks like you guys kind of approach this almost like a playoff game.
Yeah, I mean, Washington's been playing great the last part of the season here, and I think they're one of the best teams in the East. Them in New Jersey, the top teams, and we feel like we really have to play well against them.
Did you try and come out to set a little bit of tone? You had something going with Calle Johansson early, banging with Joe Ricci as well?
Yeah, I mean, we got to come out and play hard, and last night we didn't have a very good effort, so tonight we wanted to come out and get into it right away and get our legs going right away.
All right, Sean, thanks for the visit. Thanks. Sean McEachern, as we mentioned, one of the goal scorers as the Ottawa Senators lead the Washington Capitals. More intermission activities right after this.
It's Iceland season, and Home Team Sports and Iceland Air want to send you and a friend on an Iceland adventure. Join your favorite Wizards and Caps announcers for river rafting, volcano tours, glacier hiking, and more. Plus more bars and clubs than you can handle. Enter online at icelandair.com or send your name, address, phone number, and age on a postcard to the address on your screen. So get ready for Iceland season.
When it comes to cars, Toyota has it all. Better quality, better value, and all the right choices. Starting with one of the lowest priced cars in America. Toyota, the right one for you.
The world is on internet time. Are you ready? We are. Sitel.
State Farm can save you up to 30% off their already affordable car insurance rates. In Northern Virginia, these agents are awaiting your call to see if you qualify for the auto discount program. Call today and find out why State Farm is the world's leading car insurer.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Wizards basketball on HTS. Now we're making some noise.
For the win! Yes! Washington hangs on to hand Charlotte its 5th consecutive loss. Wizards victorious in 3 straight. The Washington Wizards have won 4 consecutive games.
Watch the Wizards make more noise all March long on HTS. Sunday Night Fights on HTS. Pound for pound, the best fighters in the world go toe-to-toe. Witness boxing fury from a ringside seat. Sunday Night Fights on HTS.
Capital Cadillac is Washington's #1 Cadillac dealership, providing excellent customer service and satisfaction. Stop by today to see the new 2002 Escalades. Do what Adam Oates did. Join the long list of happy customers who chose Capital Cadillac, conveniently located off of exit 23 of the Capital Beltway in Greenbelt. This afternoon and early evening at MCI Center, the Washington Capitals trying to protect the fort against the Ottawa Senators. The Senators have kicked the doors in. They have a 5-2 lead over the Caps through 2. Joe Beninati, Craig Laughlin with you on HTS. And Craig, the adage is when it rains, it pours. It seemed like once Ottawa got one, they knew they were going to get more.
You're exactly right. And we also talked about momentum and how it can shift very quickly. The Capitals, I thought, had some momentum on the Bondra goal to make it 4-2. But then an untimely penalty by Metro. He picked up 4 minutes. That really got the momentum now in Ottawa's favor. They capitalized on it, and now they've got a nice lead going into period 3.
Leading by 3 after 2. Let's take a look at the highlights. Hossa had one back in the first. He's got another one right here.
Yeah, it's a nice play. They move it around down low. Hossa's going to go back to Sammy Sallow. Sammy Sallow gets the shot. Hossa's going to collect and snap one off the blocker, and it bounces into the back of the net.
Second of the game for Hossa. Second on the power play for Ottawa.
And then Ottawa works a puck down low. McEachern's going to slither out, come out the short side, and slide it under the unexpected Kolzig through the 5-hole.
That made it 4-1. 2 goals just 62 seconds apart. Then the Caps with the power play.
Doesn't get any better than this. Oates, Metro, banzai. number 20, tying Denny Remove's record from 80-81.
And they only needed 26 seconds on the power play to do it, but...
Again, Sammy Salem faking the slap shot, throwing it off the side of the net. A lucky backhander by Funk finds its way into the back of the net underneath. Ole pulls it.
If memory serves, it's been a while since the Caps have surrendered 3 power play goals in one game, but they've done it, and our Mercedes-Benz stats show it.
Wow, lots of shots, just 250 between the two teams. Scoring chance, remember we talked about that, Joe? Ottawa Senators already 15, which is sort of a benchmark after 60 minutes for the Caps. Face-off favor the Capitals. Power play a big advantage for the Ottawa Senators. More chances and more power play goals.
In its previous 3 visits to MCI Center, Ottawa had scored the grand total of 3 goals. 2 better than that in one game today, with still 20 minutes to go in regulation.
Hello.
Come home early.
I can't. I'm working.
I lit some candles.
I'm swamped.
I bought bye-bye.
7.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Come again?
Yeah, he's got a pencil lodged in his... I'm Bill Strang of Timebridge Technologies.
And I'm Ole Kolzig of the Caps.
Timebridge Technologies is teaming up with Ole and HTS to keep an eye on the kids.
For every HTS Caps game that we win, Timebridge Technologies will make a generous donation to Best Buddies in a fan's name.
This lucky fan also gets gear autographed by Ole, but you gotta bring home a win.
Like I need more pressure.
Hey, it's for a good cause.
Keep watching Caps hockey on HTS, because when we win, everyone wins.
Off an apple tree. Shake, shake, sugar, but you never shake me. I'm gonna stick like glue. Stick because I'm stuck on you.
Mercedes-Benz E-Class, available with 4MATIC all-wheel drive. Whatever the weather, these babies stick.
I'm gonna stick like glue. Stick because I'm stuck on you.
You remember Jared from Subway? Turns out he's inspired a lot of people.
Still looking good. He'll show you the way. His name is Jared, and he'll lead you to Subway. That's where it goes, along with the rest. For 7 sandwiches with 6 grams of fat or less.
What an inspiration. Subway. Eat fresh.
Don't miss Super Score. Peter Bondra and the Caps crush with a playoff.
Back off the Christian backside score! Bondra on the slam dunk!
The Capitals, the Mighty Ducks, Tuesday night at 7, only on HTS.
Every weeknight, it's Totally NASCAR.
Your exclusive source of NASCAR information.
30 minutes of NASCAR news and highlights that put you in the driver's seat. Totally NASCAR, tonight at 6 on HTS.
Craig Laughlin, it's been a very, very busy week for the Washington Capitals, and Icelandair is going to help us flash back and review.
Yeah, Tuesday, there's one of Adamo's 4 points in the Capitals' victory. Shift gears, move to Pittsburgh. Here's the GWG. Blackie to help. The 4-3 winners are the Caps. Then we move to Friday night. The end of the Bonders hat trick. Here he is slap-shotting at home. And we'll also take a look at Trent Whitfield's first goal of his NHL career, which will be unassisted. There it is, top corner. They're going to need some heroes to step forward to get back in this hockey game.
Are they ever?
You look at that honor roll. Otzi, 4 points. Tuesday, Wednesday, Blackie, a big part of the victory over Pittsburgh with 2 helpers. Bonsai, his 17th career hat trick. And Whitfield, congratulations, his first NHL.
In the process, Craig, Washington moved 16 games over 500. The last time they were that high was the end of last season. But it's Ottawa today by 3, going to the 3rd.
Epic. Come on, Pigs!
You've been calling for it, now we've got it. Announcing the Pork Chop Biscuit from Hardee's. A tender, whole, boneless pork chop lightly breaded on a famous Hardee's made-from-scratch biscuit. America's best tasting biscuit. The Pork Chop Biscuit. Come and get it. Only at Hardee's.
It's a hit. Logicon FTC teams up with industry leaders like EMC, Sun, Remedy, and Veritas to provide the federal government with complete IT solutions.
You can shake an apple off an apple tree. Shake, shake, sugar, but you never shake me. I'm gonna stick like glue. Stick because I'm stuck on you.
The Mercedes-Benz E-Class, available with 4MATIC all-wheel drive. Whatever the weather, these babies stick.
I'm gonna stick like glue. Stick because I'm stuck on you.
Capitals hockey in March. Get intense on HTS. HTS puts you smack in the middle of the Caps' rush for the playoffs. He scored! Face off with Peter Bondra, Ole Kozik, and the Caps in 13 huge games against the likes of Super Mario and the Pens, plus 3 crucial contests with bitter division rival Carolina. Postseason play is officially on the line. Catch the Caps' march for the playoffs all March long on HTS.
What's it like to be 7 and hear your doctor say the word cancer? Out of the darkness comes something beautiful, a wish come true, bringing hope and laughter and a reason to keep fighting a very grown-up battle. What's it like to help? Just call us at Make-A-Wish Foundation, because there's nothing like the power of a wish.
I want an investment that is guaranteed to stay ahead of inflation, like the I-bond.
Well, we don't offer them.
That's safe, like the I-bond.
But
that saves money on my state and local income taxes.
Wow.
And will let me get started with as little as $50.
Like the I-bond.
Right.
HDS coverage of Caps hockey being brought to you by eTensity. We build world-class e-business for our clients. And by Metro. Metro opens doors to the MCI Center and sports events all over the Washington area. We are in Washington, D.C. this evening, preparing for the Washington Capitals and the Ottawa Senators to start the third and final period of regulation time. Ottawa has a 5-2 advantage. They have 3 power play goals for the third time this season, and they've driven Ole Kozik for cover. That is going to be Corey Hirsch between the pipes in period 3, making his first appearance as a member of the Washington Capitals, with Craig Billington still out addling with an injured stick glove hand.
Yeah, and Corey Hirsch has 105 games in the National Hockey League, 33, 44, and 14 with 4 shutouts in his career.
Caps and Senators in NHL play today. Prior to this afternoon's affair, there was alumni action in Craig. We need to visit with Al Koken and a very, very special guest.
Joe, thanks very much. A special guest indeed. Dale Hunter joining us here. And Dale, there was something amazing. Craig Laughlin actually assisting on a goal of yours. Is that right?
That has to be the first time ever. I played him for a lot of years, but I've never known him to pass. I guess, you know, he sees people passing like OT out here. He finally paid attention and learned off of him.
How much fun did you have today?
That was great fun. It was, you know, a lot of fun playing with the old Roddy and boys all back, Ivan LeBray. It was just fun to be all together again.
Tell people what you're doing these days.
I have a junior A team, and me and my brother, we own it and we run it, and trying to get into the playoffs right now. We're battling for our lives.
And son Dylan playing some good hockey as well, right?
Yeah, he is. He's playing very well right now at junior B, and he's got a tough choice ahead of him, either go to college or junior, so he's got to make a tough choice.
Dale, always a pleasure. Best of Karinka, the family, and everybody. Good seeing you.
Thanks, Al.
One of the best ever to put on a Washington uniform, honored up in the rafters, and playing before the game today, and actually scoring on a Craig Laughlin assist, a real rarity, Dale Hunter.
Gentlemen, thank you. Alexei Yashin and Jeff Halpern will draw as we start the third period. Halpern with familiar wingers Steve Konowalchuk and Ulf Dowling today in the lineup. Senators in the road, Black a 3-goal leader as we start the third. McEachern taps it into the corner. Brendan Witt with his opposite 19, Yashin close by. Halpern using the boards. Dowling muscles his way back to center. Ulf Dowling's next assist will give him 300 for his NHL career. Dackel in tight quarters with McEachern. It floats right to Brendan Witt. He plays catch with Calle Johansson. Ottawa in the middle of a shift change. 75-footer by Witt is well wide. Bondra went scurrying after the rebound. It winds up on the tape of Bonk for just a second. Now away to Alfredson. Cut from behind by Metropolitan. Bondra counterattacking. Metropolitan hooking off. Stick handles away from Phillips. Glenn Metropolitan knocked down to his knees. Came back up to give Phillips a shot of his own. Metropolitan Bondra Oates out there for the moment as the Senators quiet things down, and Alfredson just lofts it back into the Cap defensive zone.
Wow, what a great trip by Glenn Metropolitan. Not only stripping the puck from Alfredson, but doing some damage in the offensive zone. He looks very, very great on skates.
Hossa nearly got that one past Hirsch. It's practically on the goal line, and Hirsch gets a helping hand from Sergei Gonchar. Marian Hossa was just a whisker away from an NHL hat trick. Gonchar to Nikolitin. Worked right into the Senators' trap there. Salo back ahead. Zettler working on the rear guard with the Bulis, or rather with the Cote today. Bulis, Zednik, Nikolitin on ice up front. Lacroix leaving it back behind the cage. Corey Hirsch will tap it. Ole Kolzig relieved after surrendering 5 goals on 26 shots today. Nikolitin over the head of Zednik, marked carefully by Redden. Racuna keeps it moving on through Fisher, the 20-year-old Ontario native in his second NHL season. Alfredson, a former NHL Rookie of the Year, lost it to Zednik. Rob Zettler, who's turning 33 this past Thursday. He'll help get it in there deep. Washington with the line change on the move. Yashin, who's had a productive day, working down his off wing. Gets the score. Hirsch with a good glove stop.
That's a good stop. This is Hirsch's 4th team this season. Played with Portland, had a record of 13-12-1. Cincinnati and in Albany, and now with the Caps. This last save, a beauty on Alexei Yashin. European style off wing, firing it through the defenseman. Very similar to what we saw the last couple of games when the Caps played Pittsburgh. And here's Marian Hossa off the pipe. And look at Gotch get the puck with his hand, as you mentioned, Joe, and cleared it out of harm's way. Here's a look at Corey Hirsch's numbers this season. Nice save percentage down with Portland.
Well, he's 2 for 2 there as he kicked out York's blast. Phillips into gear. Hirsch will wander. Golf it around the curve. Joe Sacco for Washington along the boards. Sacco, Whitfield, and Black. Joe Sacco started the scoring in this one. Washington was a 1-0 leader before the contest was 3 minutes old. And then the Senators responded. They awakened and put 4 in succession on the board before a Bondra power play strike. It's 5-2 right now. 3.5 minutes into the third period. Black ridden to the corner. McEachern bottled up by Johansson. Sacco turns in pursuit of Phillips. Sean McEachern, the Waltham, Massachusetts native. Former Boston University All-America. He and Joe Sacco were collegiate teammates of one another along Commonwealth Ave. Tony Amonte was on that Terrier team. Tremendous tradition at BU. Ricky into the corner, past Halper. Pearson for Salo. Bonk charging in there. Arvidsson making a beeline for the front. Ricky holding on to Bonk. Halpern got it past Alfredson, and Konowalchuk will come wide. Long drive for Gonchar. Easy pickings for Patrick Lalime. Lalime, as Craig has mentioned today, setting the single-season mark for wins for the Senators. He also has set the single-season mark for shutouts this year with a half dozen. He's on the first page of the leaderboard in that category. Sylvain Cote knocked down by Havlat. Zamner and Havlat, odd man rush time. Leaving to Hossa. Weakly to the front, kicked out of there by Hirsch.
I think he was looking for Havlat. He thought Havlat was going to go to the net. That didn't work out because Havlat had to get past the defender.
The 2 young guns out there, Hossa and Havlat, along with the veteran presence of Rob Zamner. high in the air. Oates will clear it over the head of Metropolitan. Hossa, who was the runner-up to Chris Drury in the Rookie of the Year voting a couple years back. Backhand try, and again, Hirsch showing off a good, quick glove.
That was a good backhander. Examiner had count that puck very close to putting his hand around it, dropped it, and got a real good backhander away.
You and Xander from practically the same hometown, right?
Yeah, he's from Oakville, played minor hockey in Oakville, Ontario. In fact, my brother coached him, Joe, as a youngster. Unrestricted free agent, may hit some pay dirt this summer going into unrestricted free agency.
He's had a nice year. His next goal will be his best offensive production in a single year in his NHL career. Whip towards the net, knocked down. Rakunik for Dackel. Dackel roughed up there by Bulis. Nikolition along with Whip. Delayed offsides against the Caps. Plenty of time for York to clear. He was careful to get it to center. Waugh, who's played sparingly, gave it up. Andre Waugh, tough guy, has been involved in 13 fights for the Senators this year. They're penalty minute leader.
Involved in a couple of one-game suspensions.
Great pass! Score! Bulis to Nikolition. Back of the net. And the Caps trail by 2.
Nice play by Nico, putting that baby home. Here's the play. Nice work down low by Zednik, forcing the turnover. Hooley gets it, throws it out short side, and Nikolition in perfect position to just get his stick on the puck and snap it past Lalime. The Caps right back in this hockey game, Joe. 5-3 now. The Senators lead cut here in the third.
Nikolition's 11th. Bulis again helping out with another assist. Time of the goal, 6:22. Jan Bulis, who had a pair of helpers in the win against the Rangers Friday. Trent Whitfield moving down the wing. Whitfield rides and fires, and Lalime has that in the webbing of the glove. Washington picking up some speed early on in period 3, down 2.
It's come to our attention that thousands in your city have switched to Geico Auto Insurance. How do you explain this fascinating phenomenon? One theory, there must be something in the water. So, we're here at your local reservoir to see. What's your conclusion?
I think people just want to save money.
Should the water be red like that? Geico Direct, a 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Can you believe it's been 5 years already?
It's been good.
It's been great. Here's to us. Happy anniversary.
Closing's been hot tonight.
Hi, Caps fans. Are you ready for a crazy deal? You are? Then I'm just the guy to give it to you because I'm Crazy Ron. It's the Caps Ice Pack. 6 Caps tickets, 2 AMC movie passes. I'll even throw in a Chris Simon autographed puck. All for $199. No, I'm crazy. Make that $149. Can't do that, Crazy Ron. I don't care what Ted says. I'll reduce it down to $99. What are you waiting for? It's crazy if you don't call now.
While they're hot, folks, the Washington Capitals accepting new season ticket deposits for the 2001-2002 regular season. Secure your seats with a deposit. You'll enjoy all of our plan holder benefits, including priority to purchase tickets for this year's playoffs. 202-266-CAPS for more info. Washington putting on a challenge here to the Senators in the third period. Ottawa came in a 5-2 leader. And Andre Nikolition's 11th of the season from Jan Bulis at 6:22. Nikolition, who has more points already this year than he did all of last year, picks up just his second goal in 22 games against Ottawa. But it comes at a good time. Yashin finessing around Ricky. Yashin's drive sticks save Corey Hirsch. Hirsch on in relief for the starter, Oli Kolzig, who was lifted after 2 tonight. Redden and Rakunik playing catch. McEachern content to bounce it into Hirsch's neighborhood. Calle Johansson will turn. The 7th all-time leading scorer in Caps history is Calle Johansson. Threw it into the path. Arvidsson counter-attacking to the front. Johansson got back there to deflect it away from Bonk. Calle didn't clear. Bonk, a long-range shot that's blocked. And then it was Hirsch alertly pouncing on it.
One of the key guys for the Ottawa Senators, the big fella, the big pivot, Alexei Yashin. It's time now to look at our logic on FBC player profile. And here's Alexei Yashin getting knocked down by Brendan Witt. Then he gets up and gets a one-timer pass from Redden. And look at that slap shot. A beauty into the top corner. He's a key to the Ottawa Senators. He leads them in goals. He leads them in assists. His last 17 games, he's heated up. 23 points over that stretch and averaging over a point per game career-wise against the hometown Caps.
Peter Bondra sent between the gap there on the defense. Good work by Wade Redden to knock him down. Fans wanted to call Redden the ice time leader for the Senators. Great job there. Back comes Arvidsson to the front. It's just deflected wide by Bonk. 5-3 if you're just tuning in. Joe Beninati, Craig Laughlin, Al Koken working at ice level for you on HTS. The tip of the cap to a fine crew. Men and women in our crew doing double duty today, working to cover alumni festivities, which led into our NHL fair. Along the boards, Bonk. Watched by Witt. Alfredson turned one right on, and Hirsch got that with a pair. Oates, Metropolitan, Bondra for the moment. Patrick Lalline shovels it around to the corner. Alfredson. Bottled up there by Zettler. Zednik's wrister was well off the mark. Bondra jimmies it back behind the cage. Ian Oates on the interchange. Bondra, who struck on the power play in period 2, looking for another now. Camp in the slot. Oates to the front, snared and cleared by Rakunik. It actually hit the linesman Provo. And the whistle comes. It's offsides against Washington.
Well, Joe, time now to take a look at this day in sports. March 11th of 2000, the Caps retired. Good old number 32, Dale Hunter, the captain for this team for many years. They also beat the Devils 4-2 behind Ulf Dahlen's third period game-winning goal. And let's look at our History Channel, this day in sports.
Number 32, set up splendidly in the alumni action by my partner, number 18.
And splendidly by mistake.
I was trying for the top corners already. Hossa rambling down the wing. His pass towards the front. Zettler had a stick in the passing lane. Zettler and Koto, the defenders. Nikolishkin, Bulis, Sednik, the offensive line for Washington. Time's wasting now. 10:20 to go in the third period. 5-3 Ottawa. Bulis leaves it into the corner. The Senators hoping for their 40th win on the season tonight. Washington trying to win for a 37th time.
The Senators are tough, Joe. They've only lost back-to-back games one time this season.
That's pretty good. Nikolishkin. Fine work to the corner. Bulis with speed to the front. Just knocked wide by Nikolishkin. He had Pearson in his hip pocket. Centering pass there. Bulis from Black. And McEachern will clear. The Senators reeling a bit as Gonchar touches. Ottawa's whistled for icing. And the sellout crowd continues to roar. Black and the Caps are within 2.
You're still the boss at Jim Coleman Toyota. So as the boss, you know that nobody beats a Jim Coleman deal. You should also know a few other things, like our 2-year roadside assistance, door-to-door shuttle service, free Metro passes, and a variety of service conveniences and discounts to our Platinum Plus members. We want you to be a customer for life. We offer volume pricing without sacrificing customer satisfaction. Jim Coleman Toyota, the #1 volume dealer in the entire area. Montgomery Mall and Bethesda. Nobody beats a Jim Coleman deal.
Having fun yet? Well, we got your fun. Big time.
Dave & Buster's. Terrific food served wherever you please. And the adrenaline rush of over 200 state-of-the-art games in the $1 Million Midway. High-tech simulators and interactive games. Hey, come on. We're waiting on you. Dave & Buster's.
Big time fun!
What would you say qualifies you as a donor?
I would say I am a fairly good-looking man.
Never killed a man. I beg your pardon?
It's just one of those days!
At some point, it became clear to us that we had nothing to offer the world. So we went looking for the fortune that we knew was looking for us. Me and him, we got just one skill. That's the way of the gun.
This month on Direct Ticket Pay-Per-View on DirecTV.
Our Lowe's home improvement, home stats, focusing in on the teams that are toughest to beat on their own rink, and Washington is right there, pretty much top of the heap. Same for Ottawa, which has defended Corel Center ice quite well. Ron Wilson's Caps have 20 home ice victories to their credit, along with those 5 losses you just saw. Trent Whitfield beat Yashin on the face-off. 9 minutes and 27 seconds to go in the third. Sacco took a tumble. Up comes the arm of Fraser. And this is going to be called hooking. Before the Caps power play gets put on ice, we visit with Al Koken.
Joe, thanks very much. Well, Tuesday, the 13th of March at 3 p.m., the NHL trading deadline. You see Capitals general manager George McPhee on the right, along with player personnel director Sean Simpson. They've got some decisions to make, obviously. Interesting rumor that Eric Lindros's people have contacted the Washington Capitals. I talked to George McPhee before the game. He said he was contacted but didn't want to have any further comment. But you hear other rumors. Steve Hines of Columbus, maybe Trevor Linden from Montreal. George McPhee's got some decisions to make. His team down 5-3. He'd love a little more scoring up front, but who wouldn't? But I think the Capitals are pretty well set, but now they've got a power play. We'll keep you posted on all the trading deadline deals. Here's the power play with Joe and Craig.
Al, much appreciated. Washington that won on the 1-for-3 provided by Peter Bondra at 13:41 of the second. Here in the third, Nikolation from Bulis and Gonchar has made it interesting. Ottawa 5, Washington 3. Sednik with 2-on-1. Sednik fires, and the lean got it with a blocking glove. Hossa didn't get it out. Oates taps to Gonchar. Adam Oates carefully. Gonchar one-timer knocked down again by Lalime. Oates a great keep-in. Hossa thought he had it all the way. Oates to the corner, Metropolitan. Little shake and bake move, getting through Rakunik. Oates backpedaling from traffic. Too hot to handle there for Metropolitan. That's York, not Rakunik, who is protecting the post, pardon me. Oates, Metropolitan to the front, and that little saucer pass got away from Zednik. Back into the Washington territory. 8:20 to play in the third period. Washington needs 2 to tie. Gonchar in the wing. Oates looking to weave his magic once more. Gonchar. Metropolitan Oates on the overload. And Metropolitan backs into his position. Oates works in the top of the circle. Metropolitan to the front. Lalime slammed the pad shut. 35 seconds in the power play. Bondra on the backside. Box was ready this time. And the Senators' Ricard Pearson is able to clear.
Yeah, Bonk read that play extremely well, getting that big reach of his out there to stop that pass going down. This Ottawa Senators team is very, very aggressive. If the Capitals can break it down, they're going to have an odd man chance right in the goal crease area.
Number 1 rated home ice power play for the Capitals on ice in just 10 seconds with which to work. Ottawa protecting a 2-goal advantage. Corey Hirsch is between the pipes, giving Ole Kolzig the third period off. Bulis, Halpern, Dallin out there. Senators letting their penalty killers know that it's even in full. Yashin down the wing, 5-on-5 they play. Tackle a hard drive, and the waffle board was ready for Corey Hirsch again as Dallin will play it clear. Wade Redden working in back with Carl Rakunik. Dackle, McEachern, and Yashin have been very, very good today as Cali gets there ahead of the hard-charging winger. It's icing against Ottawa. Folks, it's a hit. Logicon FDC teams up with industry leaders like EMC, Sun, Remedy, and Veritas to provide the federal government with complete IT solutions.
Well, in came Corey Hirsch. And Ole Kolzig gets to watch from the bench here this final period for the Washington Capitals. Allowed 5 goals. And you look at his numbers, the last 9 games, a great GAA of 2.11. This will give him some time to mentally refocus for the upcoming game against the Anaheim Mighty Ducks on Tuesday.
Sylvain Cote lifting it towards the front. Lalim has that. Sylvain Cote, 17th year pro, been producing offensively. The numbers now continuing to climb. And more importantly, I think for Sylvain, the plus-minus number, a much more respectable.
Yeah, he was getting close to 20 earlier on in the season, now to a -7. Sylvain Cote, you talk about the numbers going up. Coco has 8 points in his last 12 games.
Whitfield wins the draw. Cote's drive, change direction en route. Under 7 minutes to go in the 3rd period. Black, Sacco on ice with Whitfield, looking to inch Washington closer. Sacco on a wrap feed. Score! Trent Whitfield! It's 5-4 Ottawa.
Well, sometimes it's your star players that win you games and get you into games. Well, sometimes it's the grinders, the muckers, and there's Trent Whitfield. Blackfield getting an assist. Here's a look at a nice isolation of Trent Whitfield driving hard to the net, and he's going to come around and get a nice rebound. Goals in back-to-back games for Trent Whitfield, throwing that baby upstairs. The Caps have the Ottawa Senators reeling with lots of time to tie it up.
Very much hot under the collar are the Senators, so much so that Jacques Martin has asked for a timeout. Trent Whitfield with goals in back-to-back games and a beaming smile along the bench. Shots on goal, even at 32, and Caps fans now in full throat trying to push Ron Wilson's club into a tie. This is not unprecedented for the Ottawa Senators. You look at some of their scoring results this season. One that immediately comes to mind, a wild one at home against Los Angeles. A game they won in overtime 7-6, but a game that was a seesaw, wide open ice affair. The Caps and Senators this season have already played one 5-4 game. It went Ottawa's way in mid-January. Kallio Hodgson gains the center stripe. He'll send it in. And offsides is whistled by the linesman Provo. Andrei Nikolitin got it started. His 11th at 6:22 of the 3rd period. Followed by Trent Whitfield. And it's 5-4.
He's got a little bit of a smile there, Joe. He's got to feel pretty good about himself. Goals now in back-to-back games for Trent Whitfield. And it's nice to see other guys chipping in crucial situations. It's exactly what the Sacco line did that time, the last time out.
The Ottawa Senators are number 7 in the NHL in total defense. Washington number 10 in team goals against average. And Jacques Martin has seen a wild one today. Senators have got out to such a great start in October. They sputtered in November and December. They've been on a roll in the new calendar year of 2001. Right now, they're in a battle down the stretch. 5-4, they have the lead. Behind the cage, it's Boulis. Working, digging. Harrison and Zednik close by. Richard Zednik has some breathing space. Zednik worked over by Persson. Boulis to the front. Lalini made the stop. He had to paddle down. Turnaround, Zednik. Stick save, Lalini. Nikolitin, Zednik, Boulis putting on a ferocious shift here. Hard work along the boards. Nikolitin got taken down. No call. Johansson racing after. There's a chance for McEachern, and Callie played him well one-on-one. Brendan Witt reversing his field. Jan Boulis, the 22-year-old native of the Czech Republic, sends it all the way back. Soft enough so that it won't be icing. 5.5 minutes to go in the 3rd period. 5-on-5 that two teams skate. Sergei Gonchar waiting for Oates to peel off to the corner, and the breakout begins. Oates on the wing for Dahlin. Oates, Dahlin, Konowalchuk for the moment. Dahlin run hard by Fisher. And like two bucking Broncos, they run into each other like rams there, I guess. Cote for Oates. Deep slot alone. Gonchar fires and scores! 5-5!
Not a hat trick for Sergei, but on MCI hat night, appropriate.
Yes, indeed. You talk about that old Mo, and it's all caps right now. Poor coverage by the Ottawa Senators, and that is a laser beam uncorked by Sergei Gonchar. Notice the three Senators on one side, one behind the net where he should not be, and just one defenseman able to come out to try to take that one away. Gonchar has tied this up. The Senators with a couple of 3-goal leads in this game, a 2-goal lead, and now the Caps at 5-5.
And it's going to take a while for the operations staff here at MCI Center to clean up all those hats. Ted Leonsis erupting with a sellout crowd from his perch in one of the executive suites. A 5-2 deficit erased. 2 goals, 1 minute 35 seconds apart. Whitfield and Gonchar supplying it, and it's 5-5 down the stretch.
Time now to take a look at our Sun Microsystem upcoming games. Tuesday versus the Ducks, 7 o'clock start. Thursday versus Carolina Canes, 7 o'clock start. 6:30 pregame shows. And next Saturday versus the Buffalo Sabres on the WB.
And Craig, I don't mean to be a stick in the mud here. It's great for fans to celebrate and show the enthusiasm that they're showing. But Washington's on great momentum now, and it's going to take 5 minutes to clean up the hats.
At least 5 minutes. This is going to give the Ottawa Senators a chance to regroup with this break. Let's head down to our rinkside reporter, Al Coker.
Joe, exactly what you were just talking about is exactly what I've been thinking. I can tell you, the building staff, their operations crew, which as you know does a great job, they're a little undermanned today. They're not at full staff for whatever reason. I'm not 100% sure. Kerry Fraser earlier in the game talked to them about not coming out when they had a stoppage in play. Traditionally, they've been asking the on-ice crew to come out and shovel up some of the ice shavings to keep the puck moving and the play going a little faster. But they are trying to get these hats off as fast as possible because Ron Wilson feels the exact same way. This is playing right into the hands of the Ottawa Senators and Jacques Martin. You've got the crowd roaring, and now a chance for Ottawa to recoup. We'll see what happens. Back up to you guys.
The Washington Capitals with 3 unanswered third period goals, and what a wild one we have for you on HTS.
You can shake an apple off an apple tree. Shake, shake, sugar, but you never shake me. I'm gonna stick like glue. Stick because I'm stuck on you.
The Mercedes-Benz E-Class, available with 4MATIC all-wheel drive. Whatever the weather, these babies stick.
I'm gonna stick like glue. Stick because I'm stuck on you. Wow!
Do you know the secret to e-success? How do you reduce the impact of IT employee turnover? We can help. Dimension Data, one step beyond.
From processing stock trades in the financial world to selling hits in the music world, from sharing information in government operations to medical operations, from the manufacturing of products to the interaction of products, from tracking packages to tracking spending. At Sun, Our technologies power the net for business. We're the dot in .com. What can we .com for you?
Craig Laughlin, we have seen some dramatic comebacks in our time together, especially this season, but this one for right now is taking the cake, and we are far from finished. 5-5, Seitel closer look, tells you how the Caps got here.
Yeah, nice pass. Booley to Nico Leishin. Get us started here in the third, and then Whitfield's going to go around the net. Sacco and Black try to stuff, and he gets the rebound and puts in his second NHL goal. And then with just over 5 minutes left, Otsi finds a wide-open Gonchar, and he pounds home number 17. And with it being Hat Day today, that's why we've had this little delay for Gonchar and the Caps.
Adam Oates, a pair of assists today. He wrestles the NHL assist lead away from Jaromir Jagr in the process. Adam Oates, another multiple-point game. I mean, this is ridiculous what he is doing statistically. 9 of his last 14 games with more than 1 point. Brendan Witt, the center. For Adam Oates, the best offensive season since 96-7. Brendan Witt retreats deep into Washington territory. Arvidsson there on the forecheck. 4.5 to go in regulation. Redden golfing it back into the Washington end. And remember Corey Hirsch, who came on for Ole Kozer. Made a couple of very solid stops. And that gave the Washington a chance to regain its footing and figure out Patrick Lalime. A bottleneck at center. Ricky trying to jam it loose. Yashin there under control. Gave it right to Sergei Gonchar. Behind Metropolitan. Carl Rakunik to the wing for Redden. Cross rink Dackel. Dackel one-on-one against Ricky. Ricky has him well played. Yashin is marked by Halpern. Skipping loose in the corner, McEachern to the front. Bondra had a stick in the way. Corey Hirsch will play it. On the outlet to Metropolitan, back into the Ottawa zone. Washington 35, Ottawa 32. In the shots department, we are level at 5 apiece on the big board. Lalime motioning for Salo to come back and get it. Havlat, full speed, overlapping with Hossa. Hossa closing in, shouldered away by Hirsch. Marian Hossa, who has a 3-point game going for himself, a pair of markers, beaten there by the left shoulder of Corey Hirsch. 3:10 in the third period. James Black will be happy to place it behind Lalime. The Senators in their road black, marching through neutral territory. Hossa coughed it up. Ricky puts it back onto the stick of Sacco. Spun around by Hossa. Phillips with Richard Zednik drawing a bead on him. The Senators will send it all the way. Jacques Martin will get some fresh legs out there. Cote moving it along for Nikolation. Zubin Cote, who assisted on the game tying tally moments ago. Alfredson veering into the attack, lost it. Ricky played him straight up. Richard Zednik moving quickly. Lalime got there, way out of the cage. Zednik had no angle. 5-5 your score, 2:20 to go. Third period on HTS. So glad you tuned in for this one. Nikolation to the point. Johansson. Strange carom, the ricochet winds up for Redden. He did not get it away. One-handed down low by Boulis. Rakunik lobbing it out of play. 5-5 your score. And the fans enjoying this one thoroughly. HTS coverage of Caps hockey has been brought to you by Bud Light, the proud supporter of the NHL. By Geico Direct, the sensible alternative. And by Verizon Online DSL. Get the web in real time. In our nation's capital, the guys in white, the Washington Capitals, have done so very well against the Eastern Conference this year. In fact, they've beaten each of the 14 other teams in the conference, and the Ottawa Senators are no slouch against the East themselves.
No, not too bad, Joe. You take a look at those wins, 31 for the Senators, 27 for the Caps. However, in the Eastern Conference, interconference win percentage, the Caps better than Ottawa and have 3 less losses than Jacques Martin's team.
The Senators thought they had this one in cruise control. They had a 5-2 lead. It became 5-5 here in the third. Subway sandwich, big hit of the night, goes back into the first period. Sylvain Cote running Rob Zaminer and giving him a face full of glass. Ole Kolzig worked 2/3 of regulation tonight. Faced 26 shots, was beaten 5 times. Ottawa had 3 power play goals in support of Patrick Lalime. But it has been Lalime who has sprung a leak here in period 3.
Would have been a lot better if it was Fountain in net.
Very nice. Good play on words. Shots on goal, approaching 70 combined. Oates and Yashin on this draw, and Ottawa wins it. Walchuk fumbled it just a bit. Dackel steps to center. Oates on the takeaway. Witt will play it along for Calle Johansson. He'll drive it in from center. Dahlin bracing himself for the hit from south. Low. McEachern got it back to neutral. Witt on past Dahlin. Ricard Persson to play. He missed the last meeting. He had an ankle problem the last time these two teams squared off. Oates to the front stop.
Well, the Ottawa Senators haven't been able to recover in this hockey period. They made a poor clearing attempt. Oates will get an assist as he sets up Cano. And the Caps, with under 1:30 left in this game, have 4 third-period goals. There's the turnover by the defenseman. Bad play by Pearson. And into the net it goes. What a great comeback by this gritty and gutsy Washington Capitals hockey club.
Steve Konowalchuk, 20th goal on the season. 18:32 the time of it. Adam Oates, his 3rd assist. And a near unfathomable comeback with Ottawa in complete control, or so it seems. Caps looking for more. Help into the front. Went beneath Bondra's stick.
It just shows you the great depth in this hockey team. You notice the goal scorers tonight, Joe? 6 different guys have beat Lalime. And at the top of the show, it still reminds me, we talked about this team. Even when they allow more than 3, they've been able to recover this season.
Not over yet. Lalime is on the bench for the extra attacker, and the Senators are whistled off sides. We mentioned this a few moments back, about 10-15 minutes ago, when the game is starting to change, that Ottawa has seen huge swings and huge shifts in leads before. And it has come back to bite them on the bottom again.
Yeah, there's a bad play by Pearson. Goes to the half wall. Dahlin to Oates. He gets the shot. Rebound. Goes to Konowalchuk. What a way to get your 20th of the season. Such a huge goal as Cano gives the Capitals a lead.
Adam Oates has 3 assists today. Puts him 3 better than Yager in the NHL lead. As loud as MCI Center has been this season, you could say they are that loud right now. Senators have 6 attackers on. 6-5, Washington lead, 55 seconds to go. Sallow creases one in from center. Corey Hirsch stands to be the winning netminder if Washington can hold on. Sallow into the corner. Calle Johansson waiting for it. McEachern right there with him along the boards and out to center she comes. 35 seconds left. Alfredson on the hard around. On the lip for just a moment. Johansson shoveling it. Didn't get it out. 25 seconds left. Hossa there. Yashin pivots. One-touch passing. Sallow with that heavy shot. Towards the net. Hirsch to a butterfly to deny. The puck winds up on the meshing. Caps want to whistle. It doesn't come. 9 seconds left. Dahlin puts it into his feet. Johansson there, 2-1 ball game. Absolutely fantastic comeback.
Will pick up the win, Joe. His last win coming January 1st or January 10th of '99. Connor Walchuk, our Verizon star of the game. He gets that GWG and smiles all around for the Washington Capitals and their hometown fans, and the owner still up on his feet.
As well, he should be with the rest of the Caps faithful. Geico goal of the game. Easy one to pick out. It's the game winner for Steve Konowalchuk.
Yeah, OT throws it at the net, saves made, but it's picked up by Konowalchuk. And Kono, that game-winning goal, was a Geico goal of the game.
Rest your voice, partner. The first 34 times that Ottawa held a lead after 2, they wound up either winning or tying. They have now blown leads in back-to-back games. 6-5, this one's in the books for Washington. Be sure to join us Tuesday night. 7 o'clock, the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim will be coming to town. We'll get the evening underway live, 6:30 with the Caps Report. For Craig Laughlin, Al Koken, Bill Bell, Rich Wolf, Chip Winfield, and a wonderful crew. Joe Beninati thanking you for your time this time. Until next, Caps Hockey has been a presentation of Home Team Sports, the Washington Capitals, and the National Hockey League. The Caps have won 5 in a row. This one, though, comes to mind as one of the absolute best victories on the season. 4 unanswered in the third to win it. We'll talk with you Tuesday. Have a great evening, everyone.